believe you called me a hoe. Ow. That was my scapula that just popped. Ow. Hold on, I'm plugging you in, bitches. There we go. Where's the... There we go. This way nothing's backwards. All I want for my birthday is a big booty hoe. There we go. Is that right? There we go. Very backwards. Okay. Not backwards. Maybe I'm left-handed. You don't know. Nero, what is up, my guy? Obviously. Hello from Southwest Missouri. Hello, Missouri. How you doing today, Missouri? You doing well, Missouri? You like when I am closer and larger. What is closer and larger? You mean when I'm at the in the front of the store? But then the guns are farther away. So the guns are actually closer than I am today. Does that make sense? What will people ever ask about over and over again? Yeah, I didn't put up the Luger, and I didn't put up any of that. Is that a 25 ACP? Yes, it is. Good eye. That is the KB Industries, something or other. Holy shit. Hold on a second. Sorry, this watch has been on for a week. It's actually got a good battery in it. And yes, it is a watch, believe it or not. But it's been on for a week and it still has 24% of its battery. Holy cow. Good for you. Let's see. A lot of new guns on the wall. Nah. Well, let's see. The KB Industries, the revolver, the Glock. That's my Springfield operator. It's been on the wall before. Big Dick McDick is up there. I think it's most of the normal ones. And like turn you up just a little bit so you can. There you go. See the AR better. SFR, what's up? That's a watch. Yeah, this is the Chinese smartwatch that doubles as a phone and a phablet. It actually takes SIM cards and stuff. So, do I have an AK-47? Holy shit! Less than a minute. And then they follow up with, is that real guns? Going for bingo. 1 second out of the freaking gate. SFR, what's up, everyone? Hope all is well. Air Max, what's up? The fantabulous pink Glock. It's rose gold, bud. Don't call it pink. It's a comeback. Or whatever. My goodness. Yeah, what's up, kids? Boop, beep, boop, boop, boom, bitty, bitty, boom. Oh. Just waiting for people to get in here. 20 of you in here. Hey, man, people can type whatever they want. If we can't read it, then we just remove it, right? So, SFR seems to be the mod. Justin was in here and he just shut the fuck up for some reason. It's 8 o'clock. It's Wednesday. Nobody's here. That's fine. I see how it is. I'm talking about my peoples. I'm gonna play Dark Side Phil today. Yeah, I'm not gonna start talking until I get like my goal of 10 likes. If I don't get 10 likes, I'm not going live. Cause I'm a
I'm a baby.
Pink Coke. No, it's just a red drink in an empty Coca-Cola Zero bottle. RG, what's up? Justin changing. Pink Coke is my signature. We've been selling it all over the Europes for years. It's also a lie. I don't sell the Cokes. I don't do the marijuanas. Hello, what's up, Mr. Play Play?
You've got a double name.
I'm just free word associating right now, so you'll be fine. You see, reviewers are starting to release their videos on the MC9 Prime, which is basically a Taurus G3X, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Just saw Springfield has made the operator in tungsten Cerakote, like the Legion. Have I seen a 9mm version? Do they even do a 9mm version right now? Let me see. Just tried to aspirate into my own lung. So, that's always a good thing to do. Let's see. Oh, I want to give a shit about it. Holy crap. A minute in and I'm already yawning. Beep. Come on. Hold on, guys. I'm looking up something.
Operator, patch my call through, please. Operator, my bed is full of fleas. So please, operator, do what I'm begging of you. Springfield has 20 operators in their lineup.
Let's see. See. 45. They've got the original in 9. Do not see one in 9 yet. We'll see what happens. Oh, sorry, JJ. I usually just read part of the word. Do I have a Glock 19? Sure. Which one of the pistols is my favorite? Behind me tonight would probably be the operator. What is the pocket rocket gun that you showed? It's the silver one up there, and it's called the KB Industries Fraser 25 ACP. It's actually kind of like it's a micro 2011 style because it's got a full dust cover. Oh, Mike. You're very cautious about the MC9 Prime. The carpetbaggers are selling it too hard. So, Scott, from what I'm seeing, it's just a 365X macro. 17 round frame with the combat meta grip texture. It's got their new compact trigger or combat trigger, which looks interesting. It's got a 3-port comp with 2 ports that are sideways, which doesn't make a lot of sense unless they actually angle up a little bit as they go sideways, because I don't recall a lot of people having problem with side to side recoil control unless they're gangsta. Then I guess that could work. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not too worried about it being a good gun because it's an MC9, it's a Canic, it's got the 3.6-inch barrel from the L, or is it the LS? I don't know. But anyways, it's just an X macro from Canic, so it's an X macro with a good trigger. You excited for WWE WrestleMania? I don't watch wrestling anymore, my friend. It's interesting because isn't Cena coming back as like a pure heel? Stone is here but busy. No worries, dude. It's Wednesday. I know that sometimes you're not going to be able to make it on Wednesdays. Damn, the AK on your site looks juicy. Dude, it is. It's a Romanian, 1970 Romanian kit with the dong, and it comes with 20 mags and 600 rounds for that price. It's an insane value. Unless you're shooting low and to the left. Lols. Genuine question from an Australian. Do these guns stay loaded, ready for use? If not, what do you actually keep on hand for self-defense? Good question, Ozzy. No, the guns behind me are guns that are actually for sale in my store, so those guns are not loaded. And yes, I've decided to sell my coveted Springfield operator that I've been carrying for the last year. I carry my para ordnance more than I carry the Springfield, so now I'm going to sell on the Springfield. But no, my personal guns do stay loaded. I have several guns that I keep in a safe that are always loaded, and I also have my home defense guns. I have a shotgun, an AR, and a 1911 that are always loaded. So I always have options. I will go to my shotgun first because it's closest to my bed. Well, technically the 1911 is closest because it stays on the bed with me because I'm a single dude with no miniature human beings in my house. So, yeah. I see a Derringer. Yes, you do. That is a 38 caliber ROM R17. Paul, what's up? What the heck is a heel in wrestling? So a heel is somebody that is purposefully the bad guy. He taunts the crowd. He taunts everybody. He purposefully makes himself look like the bad guy so that when he's getting his ass whooped, the crowd gets more into it. Because, spoiler alert to all my nerds out there, wrestling is fake. So they decide who's going to win the match, and then they have people that work their career. So John Cena decided to come back, but he wants to be the bad guy. So, good for him. Thanks for the explanation. No problem, Ozzy. No going to break into your house. Not if they want to leave it. I make love to my rifle. It has a very long shaft. 16 inches, baby. Hard steel. What's the point of gun for defense staying in safe if you're caught at 3 a.m.? There are people that have other miniature human beings that they've made of themselves in a biological cloning process called stupidity. And a lot of those people prefer to keep their guns locked up so that the miniature humans who are underdeveloped and have stupid brain don't accidentally get in trouble with those guns. Personally, I feel like for myself, since I'm single, I don't have any of those miniature biological oopsies, that I can keep loaded guns in my place out because I have trigger discipline and I'm less likely to have an incident. However, if I have a little person, a friend of mine has one of those miniature biological oopsies, and when they come over, I usually have the guns in a place where they can't get to them. I have a secured gun room, so I can just stick them in the gun room, lock the door. The small biological oopsie can't get to them. Is that a Henry repeater? No, actually, believe it or not, it's a vintage Ithaca model 49, single shot 22, but it shoots 22 short, long, and regular. I wouldn't put a Magnum in it, even though you could probably slide it in there. Delgado. I mean, it sounds like it'll be a cool event, but I don't watch wrestling anymore just because it got too commercialized, too screwy when WCW and then WWF had to change their name because of the World Wildlife Foundation, and they caved, and then they act like they were never called the WWF. So, All right, Shaq, I appreciate that. Stop typing in caps. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks again. No problem, dude. Very cool and composed head. I try to be. Fun fact, you can't work in an auto shop if you have a DUI in the last 5 years. Shop insurance won't cover you. Just found that after I got hired and fired within 3 days. Holy shit, I did not realize that was a thing. What state are you in, Ligma? Dude, I used to work at a dealership where we had salesmen that had Deweys. Dude, this is awesome. Keep it up. Thank you. DB, hey, we got the red drink. Hey there, neat guns. Thank you. Sway, hello. Is that fake? No, but this accent is. Average American garage. Actually, the American garage has the garbage cans a shovel with a broken handle, a shovel with a broken face, a rake missing like 10 of the tines, and the lawnmower that hasn't been used in front of the good lawnmower because you put it in there because you bought it in the off season when it was on sale. That's the American average garage. We also spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy homes with attached garages just to keep all the shit in the garage. Alaska, it's because you get in an accident. It's not your insurance that covers it. It's the shop's insurance that takes a hit. I mean, that's crazy. I know that, I guess that's crazy, dude. I can't dispute what you're saying. I can tell you that here in Virginia, they don't give a shit if you're a mechanic, you know. I do know that the new car dealerships, if you have a DUI, will not allow you to drive a vehicle that's on the lot, but you can still sell them. So maybe you got to move to a different side of the world, man. And no, I am not going Delgado. I'm not a wrestling guy, dude. Is that little gun wall behind him? What about it, Carrie? Boom, 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 boom. Why no brace on the AR? Because it's not my personal AR. I bought that from a customer that came into my store. I'm WinCityArmory.com. It's for sale, and I don't feel like putting a brace on it because I'm selling it for a good price. So my personal pistol has a brace on it. Hey, Zaxxon, you said it looks cool. Thank you, Carrie. Canadian men are bracing up for a fight. With who? Hey, Troy, what's going on from Richmond? No cursing? Fuck that. Damn, nice wall. Thank you. Cool guns, thank you. All those guns are plastic. Okay, Yogi. Only put you on insurance to drive vehicles, they will be told. Yeah, I said, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that, man. But yes, Carrie, everybody else is making that answer. So when you apply to like when I was running a Chevy dealership, every person that comes in has to have their driving record pulled, as well as an arrest record. You fill out an actual application, and we do background checks. Now, you can't discriminate because of a lot of things, but you can't be in an automotive setting where you will be in a position to drive vehicles if you have either no license, a suspended license, or you have DUIs, because the liability, the insurance could be outstandingly high, like Alaska, apparently. Some of the dealers I worked at a multi-million-dollar Ford dealership, like $40-50 million in inventory at any given time, and we never had that issue. Again, we had salespeople that had DUIs, but they just couldn't drive the cars. Someone going to tell us they're supposed to be plastic, all lightweight, but metal components. Oh, no. Yogi is trying to insinuate that they're fake, DB. How much is the flux going on the dealer side? I haven't looked one up. Let me see. Also, you're not an investor in my company, so I'm not going to give you the actual price, but I will tell you that it is significantly less. I'm screwing with you. Let's see. Flux. Who the hell is flux? Got to find somebody that's actually selling it. That's one of my distributors. Dude. Hold on. Nope, not through that one. I'd have to look it up, dude. I don't know. One of my best techs didn't have a license. There you go. Good thing I stopped drinking years ago. There you go. You subscribed. Thank you. Mason, thoughts on Invincible Season 3? I haven't finished it yet, but I've read the comics, so I heard there's a couple of things that are different, but I'll have to watch it. Does anyone in Alaska not have a Dewey? Yeah, they're the ones that died hitting the moose. Lamau, where do I sign up for the investing? You send me an email and I'll tell you how much percentage. German guns are the best. Yeah, it's the people that are questionable. Wait a minute, it's Wednesday. What you doing going live? I said this a few weeks ago. I was going to try to do it, and now I've changed my store schedule. I'm only open 4 days a week, so I don't have to be up tomorrow morning. So Wednesdays, I'm now going live again. My hospital can't check for pot use for new hires no more, but the car dealers are safe. Where are you, Scott, that they can't check? Are they in a state where it's legal now? I need a binary trigger. Well, order one, dude. Go to Palmetto State. It's hard to beat their prices. Just looked it up. Apparently, Alaska is second or third toughest on alcohol. Gotcha. Do I prefer the Smith & Wesson Watson or the Glock? I never prefer a Glock. I will never prefer a Glock. There's a Glock behind me because it's for sale. It's the only reason you'll ever see one on the wall. I have multiple personal ones, but I don't care for them, so they just sit, but they're not worth selling in my opinion because I don't want to burden anybody with the disappointment of owning a Glock. It's dope that the AK was also stamped in your city. So that company, JCI, was actually the builder of the gun. So it was constructed in Winchester and then sold, and it wound up back in Winchester. We can't have guns here in Germany. Oh, I'm sorry, DB. I did not know where you were from. That sucks. I know a couple of German nationals that used to come to the United States to visit friends and stuff. And this one dude used to come to our store down in Harrisonburg. Every time he was here, he would buy parts. And so, like, his buddy would buy an AR, and he would buy all these parts to build custom ARs that he left here. So anytime he came for a visit, and he came like 3 times a year, he would have an AK or an AR built and ready to go. Hi, I'm new. Hello, Aaron. Frigate. Frigate and Saturday, I'll also be there. Add Saturday, and I will be there also. I am going not to add Saturdays to my lives. Also, I'll be up in Pennsylvania this Saturday. You just realized you're a train nerd? Nothing wrong with that. The old gun looks like it was from World War II. If you're referring to the wood gun, that is a Ithaca Model 49, so after World War II. And if you're talking about the revolver, that is a 1873 single action clone from Taylor's and Company, which is literally 3 blocks away from my store, the dealer. Are they replicas? No, they are not. They are actual firearms. Hello, Gabriel. Hey, was at the range today and was getting either failure feeds or double feeds. Would it be possible to explain to me why? Thank you. Depends on the gun deck. Typically, the 2 major reasons for a failure to feed or a double feed are either something's wrong with your recoil spring or your mag. You like the lever action. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's actually a relatively inexpensive firearm because it's a single shot. Even though it's a lever action that drops the breech block. And it's basically, it's basically a great little plinker or first-time shooter gun. What are your thoughts on the Kimber Micro 9? I've had them. They're fine. They don't function 100% like true 1911, or am I thinking about the Mustang? Don't the Micro 9s have a hinge trigger? Hold on. You prefer the diesel freight trains. Freight trains are awesome. My EDC is right now, because I'm selling my operator, is a Para-Ordnance Black Ops 1911 5-inch government. It basically looks exactly like the Springfield operator 1911 behind me. No, I'm thinking of the Colt Mustang. No, I am right. Sorry, the Kimbers do have a hinge trigger, which I don't like. So I was right. So it looks like an enclosed trigger, but it's not. The Kimber Micro 9s have a hinge trigger, which means they have a trigger bar, so it's not technically a 1911. So I don't like faux 11s. Favorite gun of all times, 1911s. Why so serious? You want to know how I got these scars? My mom was an alcoholic and used to beat me, so the scars are emotional. They don't really show on the outside, besides the fucky eye. Just so much power. Yeah, no kidding, dude. Have I ever shot a 21? When my friend shot one, it went 5 feet. Okay. Hello, Arif. Do you think FRTs are worth the money? I was told if you, God forbid, need to use the FRT, then you have a much harder time in court. So if I were to play with FRTs, which I have no desire to, I would never run one on a carry gun or even a truck gun. I have a binary in my AR-15, which is about as far as I would go, but there's no reason to run a full force reset trigger on your carry gun. So like the Glocks with the whatever that switch is that imitates that. A binary trigger is bad enough, but a force reset trigger, yeah, they'll try to prosecute you heavy because they'll be like, oh, he wanted to fire a shit ton of rounds in under a second. Is the 1911 above the revolver? Yes, the 1911 is above the revolver. Your mom just got one today. That's why you were asking. The guns themselves are fine. I don't like micros, period. I don't like ones that imitate a design without actually being that design. That's why I have a problem with like a lot of the 22 caliber, like the GSG or the Hammerly 1911s. They're not exactly right. The triggers aren't right. So, whoa, 1911 EDC, lol, big trigger, but what about capacity? So, if you go by the FBI reported statistics or even police reported statistic, the average self-defense shooting is 3 to 5 rounds, which means Untitled, holy shit, welcome back, thanks for the gifted subs. The average shooting is 3 to 5 rounds. The modern 1911 magazine and 45 ACP can hold 8 rounds. So you load one into the chamber, you got 8 in the mag, then you've got a 9-round gun. If you're carrying a micro like an original Glock 43 or a Glock 26 or even a standard Glock 48, you're getting 10 rounds of 9. So you're not really losing in capacity, especially for what you gain with thinness and controllability. And then I carry 1 spare mag. So I typically have 17 rounds total. It's the same as if you were carrying a Glock 17 with 1 mag, which a lot of people do. So accuracy, practice, those are the 2 biggest things that will aid you in overcoming capacity issues. Hey, Ligma got one. Rockman got one. There you go. I get what you mean. It has no dovetail safety. It does look nice. It does. It does look nice, and it's a comfortable feeling gun, and it's an all-metal gun, which puts it head and shoulders above things like the 365, in my opinion. What's your favorite plane from any era? The F4 Phantom. McDonnell Douglas F4 Phantom has always been my favorite airplane. What do I think about the P220? And holy crap, he does another 5. Thank you so much, Goose. Sorry, I gotta go back up. The P220 and 10mm. I don't own a 220 and 10mm, never have. I am picking up a 220 or an SAS 220 in 45. The 10mm is fine. I think 45 to 10. 10 is a lot faster with a smaller round, so it's going to penetrate more. But it's a big metal gun, so I mean it's a good gun for it. Hello, Jenkins. Don't do shout-outs. Sorry, brother. Oh, yeah, you're ready. Nowadays, multiple attackers is my biggest fear. Yes, so, again, it's 2 different situations. If you're going to be putting yourself in a position where you might be in an area where a firefight could be likely, I might re-examine my amount of carry ammo. I might carry a couple of extra mags, or I might wear a mag pouch. That way I can carry 2 or 3 spare mags. But where I live, I don't have that problem. I once left the keys in my Challenger Scat Pack for a week in my driveway, unlocked, and nobody touched it. So, honk. Thank you, Goose. You're an awesome dude. I don't really think about the SIG Ultra. I'd have to check it out. AR-15s with wood furniture, yay or nay? If it's good wood furniture. I've seen some cheap-ass companies try to make them, but I can't remember the name of it. My buddy is building one for a friend of his, and it actually looks really good because it's got a precision-style stock, not the A2 monolith-looking stock, and it looks amazing. No real Krinkov, no fun. I have an AK sitting next to me. I'm just not allowed to have it on the wall. The only two times I've ever had an AK on the wall behind me, the live was ended because they accused me of touching it. Is that a Taurus back there? There's actually two Tauri. So on the wall back there, there's a G3 and a G3X. How long does your NICS background check take in Virginia? If you have a clean background and you don't have any issues, it could be instant. Mine are instant. Some people could be an hour. Some people could be a day. I've seen some people take 5 days. Where's my tank? Give it back. I can't. It was stolen from me. I left it in a McDonald's drive-thru, and I took a Big Mac without asking, and they took the tank. What's your opinion on 10mm revolver? Seems to me it doesn't have any advantages over 357 in a wheel gun. It really doesn't. The only reason to have a 10mm, in my opinion, would be for compatibility with other guns that you're carrying. Who the hell wants a Chrysler product? Shut up. You know how many people would rip that engine out? You know, Facebook actually started making guys that were selling swaps provide proof of the secondary vehicle's title before they would allow them to sell them. You can get your vehicle delisted from Facebook. All the Scat Pack swap cars, the 500 horse engines like I had, all those Durangos and Chargers that were getting scat swapped were being delisted because they weren't providing the title for the donor vehicle. How do most pawn shops price their guns? I can't speak for all pawn shops. I know that typically when you go into a pawn shop to sell a firearm or something like that, they're going to value the gun at about 60% of street value. Then they're going to give you about probably 85% of that 60%. So you might get 50% of value on the gun. So never go into a pawn shop with something like a Glock 26 and expect to get more than $200 for it because you're fooling yourself. If you got a pawn shop that's giving you $200 for a goddamn Glock 26, it's because they're selling it illegally for $600 to some dude with no papers. Hi! Holy shit! Goose! This is for you. I'm going to go get supper. Thank you so much, Goose. 15 subs and a $50 donation. Holy shit. That is a way to make a Wednesday, brother. I appreciate that so much. Noel, what's my favorite gun? 1911s. Thank you so much, Goose. You've always been like the big supporter here. I got a couple others that donate from time to time, but Jesus Christ. It was an air, and I'm not calling out any donator, so please understand. Goose is one of those people that just likes to donate to me because he knows that I will give him the sucky. With the AR-15, either the bolt would fail to pick up the next round or it would shoot the first round. Second round would have to be racked. There could be a double feed. Something's impeding your buffer spring. Your gassing could be off. I would actually look at your buffer spring because your buffer spring might be either getting stuck or it might be too weak. Hey, Wrench, what's up? Payden, nice shotgun. No shotgun. Dogs bless Monold Bump. Don't type in all caps. Goose must have gotten paid. Goose is a king, dude. I'll say it as if I was a villain in anime for that. Donate first. Do I have the RPG? Role-playing games? Yes, I have Dungeons & Dragons, King's Quest, Hidden Lair, and a couple that I call homebrews. The Russian are here. Are they? Do the Haktua? Yeah. I have a FFL Sigma. Yes, it's called Wind City Armory. Go to windcityarmory.com. I have a lot of inventory up there, but I need to put the new acquisitions up there. The Ithaca, the Resident Evil Beretta, the 25, and the other one. Can you top off a Ruger Mini 14 like a Garand? Why would you? I guess would be my main question, because it's mag fed. It's not an internal box mag. I mean, I would just rack one in and then just put the mag in. All right, thank you. I'll check it out. Yeah, it could be. Check and see what your buffer is. Sometimes you might need to go to like an H3 buffer, or if you have a standard H2. First night here, you are a goat. Keeping up with the comments. Thank you so much, I sub. No problem, DB. I try to answer as many as I can. Sometimes I miss a few here and there, but I try my best. I have an Xbox Series X. Freaking HDMI port is out right now. That's never good, dude. That sucks. Why no brace on the AR? That's a question I've gotten twice tonight, and it's because it's not my AR. It's my store's AR. It's for sale. I bought it that way, and I'm not putting money into it. I could spend $100 to put an AR brace on it, but then I'd have to raise the price by $100. I'd rather let somebody get their own brace. I love an internal box. I like a box with easy access, if you know what I'm saying.
Wink.
What mistakes do movies make with guns and gunshots? The biggest one is racking a shotgun anytime they go into a situation. Your gun should be ready the minute it's in your gun. Like when cops pull a shotgun out of the back of their squads and they rack it, why wasn't it ready to go? Another one is teacupping. So when you see a guy grabbing a pistol and they teacup, or you see somebody, and I've seen this a couple of times, when they're holding the gun, their fingers are on both sides of the slide for some reason. They're not actually holding the gun correctly. That's a big one. The way they manipulate racking the gun before they go into a situation, the minute you clock into work as a police officer, you rack your goddamn round into your gun and put it in your holster. If it's a 320, it's going to go off, so just let it happen. Boom, boom, boom. Dude, are you guys okay? Why is everybody just... I mean, I get it that you guys are probably like surfing from channel to channel, but yeah, check out my channel. It always answers questions even if I don't. I was going to sub, but I realized I already am. Well, unsub and sub again. It's between 50 to 100 to send it to someone to get it fixed. Yeah, you know, there are companies out there that do that, and you know, depending on whether or not you want to save the one you got. If it's an Xbox One X, it's worth spending the money on. Edwin, what's up? Looks like you're feeling okay tonight. I'm okay. I'm a little warm. I don't know why. I think the temperature outside went down, so it's heating up in here. Capacity and suppressors. What about it? Teabag. I was looking for a 5.56 rifle that can be topped off like older battle rifles. There are some Cali guns where you have to pull out the rear pin, open them up to load the mag. Does that count? I hate when shows don't show the slide moving and or never reloading. Yeah, that's always a big issue. And there are some where they use the wrong kind of blank guns. Now, a lot of companies have gone to using air guns, like the Rookie with Nathan Fillion. They use air guns now. That way they get full slide action. There are some blank guns out there that I've seen used in movies where the barrel is completely blocked off. So there's no chance of a Jason Lee happening, Brandon Lee, excuse me. And the port for the flash is on top of the chamber. So you see a flash coming out of the chamber, which is dumb. Hey, McManus. It's too hot in here. I can leave. That should help. It is. Leave your credit card number on the way out. I'm not trying to be annoying, but what's the lever gun? The lever gun at the bottom is the Ithaca Model 49 chambered in 22. I hate the video game where they put a shell in the chamber, load it all, and then rack it. Yeah, that's too. It's a mini fridge size one, annoying to carry. Yeah, but that's the series Xbox One Series X. That's like a $300, $400 system, so it's worth the money. Cali ARs are abominations. Yeah, they are. Goose, man. Goose went nuts tonight, man. 15 subs and a $50 dono. He's been king tonight. He is the king. Yeah, I noticed that on the Rookie. Also, watch the Rookie very closely, Carrie. And sometimes you'll notice that because they're using airsoft guns and because they're using Glocks, so it could just happen because Glocks use plastic sights too. Every now and then, Bradford, I think the guy that plays Bradford is very like rough on his gun because twice he's pulled out his gun, it's had no front sight. You work for the ATF. Ah, cool. Then you know my ATF agent. Come on down. We'll hang out. We'll play poker with dogs. First thing a new gunner should do, well, practice. But the first thing you should do is get to know your firearm inside and out. Obviously, with it unloaded, Practice manipulation of the firearm. Practice loading in a mag. Practice racking the slide. Practice pulling the trigger. Dry fire practice. Get some snap caps if you're worried about damaging the gun. You're not going to damage the gun. But get some snap caps if you absolutely feel like you have to. But practice, practice, practice. If it's going to be your carry firearm, practice holstering and drawing your firearm without putting your booger hook in the trigger guard. That's a big one. Happy late birthday. God dang it. Who just said happy birthday again? You crazy people. Not too bad. Been busy and was gone for a few weeks to some debauchery for my birthday. Oh, you're talking about McManus. He doesn't have birthdays. He just has celebrations of the day his mom expelled him from his house. We got a lot of pocket pistols up there. Yeah, we do. A buddy of mine brought a couple. One other buddy of mine brought a couple. People are getting rid of their pocket pistols because they realize they're interesting but suck to shoot. I turned 20 on the last of the month. Well, happy early birthday to you, sir. I love my single shot 410. There you go. You got some pricey pistols up there. Not really. I mean, the Taylor's is eh. The Beretta 84 is actually very reasonably priced considering what he did to it. The Glock is the Glock. And then the Springfield Operator is probably the most expensive pistol up there. It costs more than the AR. All you need is a double barrel shotgun. You don't need all those guns. Okay, Biden. Do they still make Tommy guns? Yes. Auto Ordnance is owned by a company called Firearms out in New York. I think they're still in New York. And they own the rights to Auto Ordnance, who produces the Thompson gun. It's not full machine gun, but it is a Thompson. He's back! Yeah. Yes. At 18, you can own the long guns. Terminator's coming to shop. Well, he's going to be angry because I'm going to ask him for paperwork. And I'm not doing like in the first Terminator where he gets to load the gun while the guy, what are you doing? You can't do that. Dude, no. I'm not going to wait for you to load your gun. Same to you guys. Good to see y'all. I like your guns. Thank you. Is that a 1911? If so, what model? Yes, it is a Springfield Armory Operator in 45 ACP. You can't chop the barrel on a shotgun or a rifle. If you take a rifle under 16 inches, it becomes a pistol, falls under pistol rules, as well as the fact that you just took a rifle and turned it into an SBR, or a shotgun, you just made a short barrel shotgun. Shotguns have to have a minimum length of 18.5 inches federally. If you cut it below 18.5 or 18 inches, so everybody goes 18.5. If you go below 18 inches on a shotgun barrel, you automatically created an SBS unless you have something like a Shockwave or one of those. They are technically in any other weapon, but they're a pistol grip, so they're sold under other, but you still have to be 21 to buy one. Goose, thank you so much again, brother. If you're taking off, it was good to see you again. Thank you, brother. I'll be here on Wednesdays. You're so nice, man. Why choose to hang up those guns in the back? Because those guns are for sale in my store. I own an FFL. Those guns are available for sale, so they go up on the wall behind me. This is my secured gun room as well, so when they're not available for sale during hours that I'm open, I keep them in this room anyway, so I might as well put them up. Is it okay to teach my kid about guns and safety? Yes. My opinion on gun safety with small accidental biological cloning is teach them as soon as you would teach them to do things such as respecting light sockets. If they're old enough to be told not to stick their finger in a light socket, you can start teaching them about safety. Now, I'm not saying you hand them a gun, let them shoot it, but you teach them to respect and understand firearms. They're way less likely to then pick up a firearm because you accidentally left it out. So as soon as they can start understanding right from wrong and how to respect things, that's when I would start teaching somebody about firearms. Jordan, it has nothing to do with the gun. It's a person's choice to end another person's life. We can get serious for a minute. A gun does nothing unless somebody makes it do it. So your argument is based on a lack of understanding of the mentality of a killer. If somebody is intending to take somebody else's life, they're going to do it. It doesn't matter with what instrument. A gun is not a deadly weapon. It is simply a tool. If you're willing to commit the atrocity such as murder, means that you are the problem, not the firearm. Any other weapons confuse me the frick out of me? Can you explain it to me in layman's terms? So, any other weapon is a weapon that doesn't fully fall into a category. So, the Shockwave from Mossberg, for example, the bird's head pistol grip shotgun with a, what are they, 13-inch barrels, 14-inch barrels? Its overall length is too short to be considered an actual shotgun because they have to be at least 30 or 27 inches or 29 inches or something like that. But the barrel is too long to be a sawed-off, but it's too short to be a shotgun. So it doesn't count as a short barrel shotgun, but it also doesn't count as a shotgun, period. It's considered any other weapon. It's the same way with when you can put a vertical grip on a pistol. Believe it or not, you can it varies from state to state. But there are states where if the overall length of the AR is over 28 inches, I believe, you can put a vertical foregrip on it. But again, it's a very fine line and it's a state-to-state thing. Sorry, Strumboni. Just joshing ya. What about it, dude? I'm not trying to ignore you, brother. I'm answering other questions. So you can be patient and ask it again, or you can not. So let's go ahead and just get rid of you so you can go fuck with somebody else. What do you recommend for an 18-year-old? Another 18-year-old. Have fun. Sow your oats. I love how the KSG workaround as California. It's minimum barrel length because it's bullpup. It's got 2 tubes. Each holds 7. Oh, well, yeah, that's kind of interesting. There's a Glock on the wall. Yes, there is. Look at Europe. Stabbing is common. Same thing with New Zealand and other countries that flat outlaw guns. Look at Canada. As soon as they started eliminating firearms from public ownership, stabbings, chokings, blunt force trauma, car running over it have all escalated. Is that the rose gold? Yes, it's a rose gold 43X MOS. If guns kill people, spoons make people fat. Yes, if you can say that a gun is at fault, then Sarah Lee is at fault for diabetes. CZ USA P10C versus the Echelon. I'd go with the CZ personally. Is that a Derringer I spy back there? Yes, it's the ROM RG17. Any other weapons are when the ATF has a loading circle over their head. Exactly. Shit, I recommend 18-year-olds for me. That's going to get creepy eventually, dude. I'm 45. If I start dating an 18-year-old, people are going to look at me sideways. Not that I give a fuck. If they're legal, that's not going to get me canceled. I knew you were selling it, but I never thought I would see a Glock on the wall. I think I've had a Glock up there before, but it was usually something custom. That's why I put the rose gold one up there. I think I had one of my custom 19s, and then I've had a couple of custom, I had a 34 that I had customized up there once. Yeah. Nope, can't show guns on lives. They can be up behind me, but I can't touch them. Whatever happened to your Glock tattoo? Did you get it redone? I did not get it redone. It's still visible, fully readable, but the reason I'm not getting it redone is because Nabob was the reason I even put color in it, and he's a fucking punk-ass bitch. So, no. What's done is done, I do what it's made for. What does a done do? What was it made for? A gun, much like a bow and arrow or anything else, was designed primarily for hunting purposes, not for killing other people. Gunpowder was not created to be put into bullets. It was created for fireworks, rockets, things of that nature. So you can sit there and lull yourself all you want, but all you're doing is showing how stupid you are. You don't understand what you're talking about. Instead, you're just making sentences that you think sound smart, but in fact prove that you have no clue what you're talking about, and you need to get an education before you keep running your mouth. If you want to go and fuck with Dan Crowder or something, or whatever that asshole's name is, or Ben Shapiro, people that spend their lives arguing with other people that are stupid, go do it. So, we'll get rid of you. What did Nabob do? Nabob is a little piece of shit. That's what Nabob did. Nabob played the illness card, played the I'm losing my mind card, He donated. He wanted to buy a bunch of tickets for a guitar that I was giving away, but he wanted to buy all of them to guarantee he won it, and I wouldn't let him do it. So he became a pissy little bitch, and then he wanted to pay for a membership, but he couldn't figure out how to do it on YouTube. So he just sent me the money through Cash App, and then I can't remember the exact thing. He wanted to go into business with me, but then started being a flaky bitch. I've got all the emails. Started being a flaky little bitch about it. I told him to shut the fuck up, leave me alone, and then he starts going after everything. And then he starts emailing me every goddamn day. And I've got a ton of shit on him, but it's best if he just shuts his fucking mouth and stays the fuck away from me. Not beefing, just explaining why a guy that used to be here on the channel, who seemed like he was a normal dude, turned into a douche nozzle. And now he's gone. Figured dude was doing some weird shit. Oh, he's gotten even worse than that, dude. I'll put it on Discord. I'm not publishing anything publicly on a video here. I love him calling other people a bitch. If somebody's going to be a little bitch, they get called out. When I'm being a little bitch, I hope somebody calls me out on it. I'm going to hell, Nero. Might as well enjoy the ride. Lol. Hey, Alchemist. Yep, I see that. Did your channel get taken down again? Not sure he ever seemed normal. No, he never did. And so if you guys have been to a lot of lives, you'll see people that get into the chat, right? And they start talking big about things they want to do, things they're willing to say, willing to blah, blah, blah. I even gave this motherfucker my phone number, and I spoke to him. And he, like, flipped. He is so paranoid about everything in his life because he does nothing but lie to people that he literally went like that and turned on everybody. Not just me, other people in the channel, just instantly. So, yeah, he made promises. He kept trying to send me a check because he supposedly was going to donate for part of the tattoo, and he backed out. And again, these are things I never asked him to do. That's the other thing. I've never once, ever begged for shit on this channel. I've offered the opportunity to people to make me do stupid shit, like when I wore fake boobs, or when I got the tattoo, or when I ate the nasty ass snails. That's you guys paying to see somebody do something stupid. That's pay-per-view. I have never e-begged on this channel. As much as I could and as big a bitch as I could be e-begging from you people, I won't do that. The only thing I ask from people like you is to hit the like button. And I don't think that's too much to ask. Asking people to hit the like button because they're having a good time is reasonable. It's pretty obvious his vacation was a trip to jail. It was worse than that, dude. SFR. I'll send you an email. Tolerate a lot of things. Being a bitch punk ass ain't one of those things. Also, lying about military service. If you were in the service, thank you for your service. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Do not claim you were in the military if you weren't. Don't try to say you were in the military when you weren't. There are a lot of dudes here that served active duty and contractors and people like that that will call you out in a heartbeat. Yeah, I'm a gun enthusiast. I'm an Army brat. My father was career military. I was not allowed to join the military due to health reasons. So I will never, like if I'm driving my dad's car and it's got the veteran plates on it, somebody says, thank you for your service. No, I will pass it on though. You know, when I'm wearing an army green shirt with the flag on it, and I've got tattoos. For some reason, people think when they see me, because I'm wearing a green shirt and I got tattoos that I served. No, I did not serve. You say fake? Oh yeah, Carrie, I wore sports bra, fake boobs. I've worn a maid uniform on Halloween live stream. What else did I do? I've done stupid stuff. Ate a lot of stupid foods. Yeah, no, if the boobs didn't tear, I'd be offered to wear them again, but nobody wants to pay for a new set. Because the ones I want are pretty expensive. They're like $100. Yeah, I did eat the hot chip. What's up, Mouse? So, yeah, I'll be driving up on Saturday to meet you guys. Saturday's the 22nd, right? Might be back if you're still going. All right, Mountain Man. Typically, I only do 3 hours, but if I'm still here. Damn, I missed some good videos and live streams. Oh, they're still up there. Just look at the Halloween one. That's when I actually wore the maid's uniform. How were the snails? They tasted like dirt. Would I ever shave a Charlie Chaplin mustache? I did that back when I did Vine. I was doing a shaving montage where I gave myself mutton chops and I gave myself the trailer park wife beater where it's just this part of the mustache, and then I shaved it into the Nazi stash. Wonderful. Can we go to the gun show? Yes, absolutely, Mouse. So I will head up very early in the morning and I will meet you there and we will meet, maybe get breakfast or lunch. We'll see what happens. Where are we driving? We're just going up to Pennsylvania, Allentown. 3 strikes in one day, and then they hit my back up the next day. I told YouTube that I'm being bullied. They just sent me a link that did nothing. I'm going to email you the secondary link that I've got. It's on my other computer. I'll email that to you. Email me at the Jiminy Show at jiminyshow@gmail.com, thejiminyshow@gmail.com, and I will email you the secondary link I have for another appeal. You can try it. I don't know if it's going to work because they took your channel, but I'll send you whatever I've got. What's up, Jiminy? Christian, what's up, dude? I need this email too for Nabob's situation, if you don't mind. I will put part of it. It does get into some personal shit where he accuses me of taking advantage of somebody that's mentally ill. So I don't want it to get out too much. I might do it in private. No, those rotten eggs made me sick. You know what? The eggs actually were worse, barely worse than the snails. Although Stone was having such a hard time with it that it was making me feel bad. I think Mr. and Mrs. Mouse is so cute. I love it when you say drunk. Nice. Mrs. Mouse is excited. Me too. Probably going to just bring the signs with me instead of mailing them. Do you think it's going to give me a problem? No, if they're just signs, they're not that big. I doubt they're going to trip anything going through an x-ray. No, my channel is still there. I just privated everything. All right, I'll send you what I got, and you can send it in. I don't know if it's going to work for strikes, though. It's what I use because they use their automated Indian people to turn down your monetization appeals. I have a secondary appeal thing. You might be able to try that with the videos that are strike. You'll need the URLs. The gun range I go to charges $100 if you fail the background check. What range do you go to that makes you do a background check? That's why at the gun store you do a background check before you buy your gun. I can't imagine why they would make you pay that. You sign a waiver when you go to most of them. So you have a 308. Nice, Jameson. Is it him? He's accusing you of taking advantage of him because he's retarded. No, he's claiming that he has Alzheimer's. And he's claiming that I was trying to take advantage of him because he wanted to invest in my company. And even though I showed him the receipts of him continuously texting me over and over, he kept saying he never did. Especially when I kept telling him, when we talked once on the phone and I told him, just forget it. And he started on me like emails every day. It was getting really bad. Joe, we are not mentally ill. You were never mean to us. MC, what is up? Oh, the duck eggs. Yeah, those were bad, Nero. Grenade launchers are sweet because your gun has a gun. Ha! Speaking of that, Ordnance Group is sending me an underbarrel 37mm and a standalone 37mm. Waiting for them to get here, but they said they're sending them out. They are kind of big. We'll bring them. Oh, awesome, dude. I hope to see them. Their whole purpose is militaristic. Literally read the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment doesn't specifically talk about individual types of firearms, son. And it was also written at a time where we didn't have centerfire cartridges. So if you're Jordan and you made another account just to come in to try to say something, again, your lack of knowledge is amazing. And your willingness to do stupid things is almost laudable. That cheesy pullback. What? Did I do that? Were you asking me what service? I'm guessing they meant a background check. No. So McManus is, like I said, I call out people that claim they were. McManus was an operator. He was a contractor. Illinois needs to lift the AR-15 ban. Yes, it does suck. Is that a Taurus son? Yes. Dad, you have to be at least 66 if you're calling me son. All ranges take a photocopy of your DL and the local sheriff comes by to submit it to the fusion. Who? For us being taken advantage of because we're mentally slow. Thank you. Oh, you're so good to me. Thank you, McManus. Yeah, so I like all the mentally slow people. Come on in. Thank you, McManus. I appreciate that. It's going to buy me so much Lipton tea. That a Glock? Yes, that's that rose gold Glock. It might be available. Dude never picked it up. My local does that too. If someone fails, I'll have to pay $100 to restock them if they get it shipped, and $50 it was one of the shops. That's crazy, man. Like I said, I make people do their background checks. All the stores I've worked for, we make you do your background check before you pay for the gun because of that exact reason. Now, if you have a gun shipped in, you will have to pay shipping back, but we don't overcharge for that. That's crazy. Am I excited for the Canic Prime? I'll check it out. It's got some weird quirks, like the porting. The 3 ports that are on it are in a weird position, but it's a Micro 9 with the full-size grip. It does nothing for me. It's one step above Coast Guard and Space Force. Are we still talking about the Marines? You know what does suck to deal with? What's that, Hannah? I'm fast. Fast like cold tar. Dude, I'm fast like ice in the cold. Make sure to hit the like button. Yes, kids. Any requirements to go to a shooting range? I guess there's some places that have requirements, but here in the state of Virginia, Chris, in a lot of states, you just show up, you sign a waiver saying that you are not a felon, you are not prohibited from owning, shooting, and participating with firearms, and then if you've never been to the range, a lot of them will make you do some sort of safety course, at least ours did, and then once you do all that, you can rent time and shoot to your heart's content. I want to buy a Curio in PA with my license. That'll be cool. You really are enjoying the ride. Lol. Are they real? My tits? Yes, because nobody ever paid for the implants. Oh yeah, Kira, if you're still here. We also tried to raise money to get me breast implants. Would you love a Glock if it was more like a Lego gun? No. If it was more like a High Point, though. I served 4 years in the Army. I was stationed at Fort Riley. My unit was Divardi. It's an artillery signal unit. We're the top artillery signal unit in the nation. Well, thank you for your service, Kage. Niha, what's up? Bring an ID in my state. Well, I guess working for the gun store itself, I never had to. So, if you fail background check, the gun now has to be pulled and not sold for 30 days. Therefore, the shop is sitting on overhead. They can't recoup for that 30 days. Again, because different, like your state does that, but here in the state of Virginia, I'm not required to provide the serial number for the gun I'm doing a background check on. All I have to do is say what number of guns. Now, if it's a private sale that's going through the FFL, because Virginia you have to, then I would have to confiscate the gun. But if somebody comes in and they get denied on the background check, I'm not required here in the state of Virginia to hold the gun that they tried to buy. So, like I said, it could just be, it's crazy. I like men too, Alex. Me too. I've never had to show an ID or anything to shoot at gun ranges here in Texas. Yeah. How are you? I'm good. Thank you very much, Niha. How are you? How do I did file for SBR. What do you mean, Jay? Rewrite that. No, I mean, we don't charge anything if you fail a background, but I know shops locally that do. Gotcha. The ATF calls and tells you to hold the gun. Again, I mean, I don't know why, but in the 5 years that I've sold guns, I've had to go to court for denials. I've never been asked once to hold a gun. Sorry. Again, I don't know why. That's all I can tell you. Are those all your guns? No, those are the guns that are currently for sale in my store, though. All right, Jay, you need to type in complete sentences, please. Like, start with, hi, I blank, 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 blank. Then end with the question mark. You just literally type the word silencers. What am I supposed to do with that? There's some interesting looking folks out here. Now, I have held guns. Again, if somebody was trying to trade a gun for another gun and I took the gun and it was in my bound book, yeah, then I'd hold that gun. But I think it's a state thing. I have no clue. You went to court for denials? So, Carrie, a denial can have several different reasons. So, a denial I can go to court for a denial if somebody knowingly falsified the background check. There are multiple questions that if you say no and you knowingly know that you lied on that document, lying on your 4473, for example, saying that you don't have a misdemeanor domestic abuse or you haven't had drug charges, you're not currently indicted. If you lie about any of that, that's a federal charge. So yes, I've gone to court because I've had police come and interview me, and it usually gets settled out of court. But it is a situation where if they can prove that somebody was trying to acquire a firearm that should not have a firearm, they can get them on felony charges. You have to go to court because you have to testify that the person in front of you was a person that filled out the document, though. So I had a kid, and this was actually the state's fault, okay? I had this guy come in, he bought a pistol from me, got instantly approved. So I had no reason to wonder. Literally came back instantly approved. If you've ever filled out your normal background checks, you'll know they come back with either an A or a D. D is delayed, A is automatic. So he gets instantly approved for a handgun, comes back a month later to buy an AK, he gets denied. He got denied because he had a felony when he was 17. Felonies don't drop off when you age out. You still have that felony. But he thought it fell off, and when he got approved for the first gun, but not the second gun, the cops come to me and they're trying to get me to say that this kid said he had a felony. And they're like, hey, well, did you hear him say that he had a felony? I'm like, dude, this was his second gun. I sold him his first gun. He got instantly approved. His second gun he gets denied on. Why would he come in and tell me, yeah, I'm actually a felon, lol? No. The cop wanted me to say that he said something to get him to confess, which was bullshit. Denial on a gun on your books. Oh. Well, again, if it's a new gun or a gun that isn't in the person's name, I'm not required to hold it. It is Wednesday. Yep. Dale, what's up, dude? Thanks for explaining. No problem. Only once was a hold put on me for 3 days, and the store would release, and I called the sheriff, and the owner finally went through with the sale. I showed the statute. They had to proceed. Yeah, so I do it digitally here, and there's always a date that's listed saying when I can release a gun without an ATF approval. There are instances, I believe here it's 5 or 7 days in Virginia. If I don't hear back from the NICS background check people, I have the legal right to release a firearm to somebody. We assume the ATF is tracking the person if they get immediately approved. Or they have, like me, I have an Italian last name. I'm Asian on my birth certificate. I'm Asian with an Italian last name, and I was born outside of the United States in Korea, yet I have a Connecticut Social Security number. The likelihood of somebody having my name, my background, my birthplace being one number off from my Social Security number are so slim that I get instantly approved. Doesn't matter the number of guns. I once did an approval for 17 guns. Look at everybody talking. Sounds like Callie. The purple hairs are coming. Yep. What's the difference between a straw purchase and buying one as a gift for someone? So, a straw purchase, as defined, is buying a firearm for somebody who cannot legally purchase a gun. So that's buying for somebody who is prohibited from buying a firearm. Also, here in the state of Virginia, now the laws that I talk about are state of Virginia specific because that's where I live. In the state of Virginia, you can gift a firearm to a direct family member. You cannot gift a firearm to a friend. That is a private sale even if no money is exchanged. So a straw purchase, though, and where it gets gray, like I've talked to people about this, is so your buddy bought a handgun. He can't buy another handgun for 30 days. So he asks you to buy the handgun for him. That's a straw purchase. It doesn't matter that neither of you are felons and that you both have the right to buy handguns. If you're buying a handgun so somebody else can bypass state law, because here in the state of Virginia, if you don't have a concealed carry, you can only buy one handgun every 30 days. So if you knowingly buy a handgun and give it or sell it to your buddy because he couldn't buy another handgun, that's a straw purchase. If you buy a gun because somebody tells you to go buy a gun, gives you the money for it, and doesn't want to do paperwork, that's a straw purchase. A gift is literally what a gift means. It's a gift. There's no money exchanged. Even between family members. If your son, if it's dad and son gives dad money to buy a gun for him because he's 18 and can't buy a pistol, even if the son gives the father the money for the gun, then it becomes a straw purchase and they can actually be charged. Snap caps, absolutely. Same here, it has to be within the state. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I have problems because my dad and I's name are so close. Sports stores have given me a hunting license in my dad's name before because it's so close. Yeah, I see that a lot, especially if you're like a second or a third or a fourth or a junior. Yeah, I've seen that a lot. Any gun, not just handguns, can be straw purchases. No. Yes, anything that is a federally listed firearm. So anything, shotgun, long gun, handgun, doesn't matter what it is. If the express purpose, that's actually why they added those two questions to the 4473, because a lot of dudes were still doing straw purchases. If your intent, and this is the most basic way I can put it, if you're buying a gun for somebody else because they can't legally buy a gun, that's a straw purchase. It could also be delayed if you have a common name. I have a common name and it takes roughly 3 days. Absolutely, Saint. Seattle, Prince. 100%. Is stepbrother a direct family member? Technically, no, but technically, yes, because it's somebody that's directly in your family because your mom and a person are married. He is your brother. Technically, yes, that is a gift, but you can't give it to a cousin. A cousin technically is not direct family, but a stepbrother is somebody you live with, grew up with. He's your brother. Just because you're your stepbrother doesn't mean he's not your brother. We have to email McManus and tell him it's a gift. Yep. Allegedly, I mean, cough, cough. Yeah. That's one of those well-known non-secrets, like the old Copo Camaro codes. Should I take apart my pistol once I get it brand new and oil it? Check it out. A lot of guns come with assembly lube. I personally do take mine apart, and I check them. I don't like the copper assembly lube that Glock uses for, like, range shooting, so I'll add oil. But I mean, why wouldn't you give your gun the best chance of operating? So I'm for it. Adding a little bit of oil doesn't hurt. I've seen some very obvious straw purchases. Not every gun store employee cares. Cash is king in some places. Yeah, 100%. Because they don't realize that, oh, not my problem doesn't work in the FFL world. Because the minute you accidentally get caught in a sting, it's a $250,000 fine for every transaction they can prove as a straw purchase, as well as, 10 years in jail if they decide to prosecute. And it's not the store that gets hit with that fine exclusively. If you're an individual salesperson, like I have a sales license. Not only do I have an FFL license, but I have a sales license for personal. I have my own ID number. So if my ID number is proven to be used on a bunch of straw purchases, then I could be held directly accountable for each and every one of those sales. But if your stepbrother is your uncle too, it's legit. Lol, that's just grossly accurate. What about if I buy a gun and my wife carried? Is that okay? Again, I can only speak to Virginia, but most states that have okay gun laws have what's called expectation of access by a spouse. So as long as you aren't a felon, or your wife isn't a felon, or your husband, whatever, to each their own. As long as your spouse is legally allowed to own a firearm, if you buy a firearm, it's technically both of yours firearm. Because firearms are not registered to an individual. They are traceable to an individual, but they aren't registered to an individual unless you live in a state that requires you to have a list or a permit with guns listed, shit like that. So yes, in the state of Virginia, if a husband buys a gun, the wife can, and a lot of times do, carry them, or a lot of times a spouse will let their wife do the paperwork just because theirs is instant and the husband is delayed. I really kind of frown on that a lot, though, unless I really know the people and I know why. Do I use the assist tool to field strip your 1911s? No, worst case scenario, I almost never need it. I've had to use it on like a couple of really bad 1911s, but you can use the base of the magazine, and that's good enough. How much do all the guns cost together? Billions of dollars, my friend. I don't know. I don't know the exact prices. Employees tend to care less about that sort of thing because they're not actually FFLs or on the license. Yeah, but again, you can be prosecuted as an employee of the store. I want a suppressor, but I really don't want to do the paperwork. Understood. Is that a 3D printed AR? No, it's a real legit AR. Long-term domestic partners count in Nevada too, so a judge told me one time. Yeah. What do I think about guns without a firing pin block? If, depending on what the purpose of the gun is, a competition gun should not have a firing pin block. Competition guns should be being used by people that understand implicitly and with superior skill the safety necessary for operating a gun without a firing pin block. The firing pin block is in place to prevent accidental discharges from droppage. So guns without a firing pin block don't bother me. That Springfield is what's called a Series 70 1911, does not have a firing pin block. I think 85 to 90% of my 1911s don't have them. My Para-Ordnance has a Series 80, which does have a firing pin block, but it's been tuned and it's so light, even with the firing pin block and that little bit of extra functioning pieces in the gun, it still has a sub 3-pound trigger, so I'm cool with it. That ditch went off with a bunch of my cool shit. Sorry, dude. Oh, that's why you're saying domestic partner. Gotcha. Like the tiny little pistol. Yep. It's a 25 ACP. Why not put a pistol brace on your AR? I don't know why that has been a popular question tonight, but I will answer it every time it comes up. I own an FFL. That gun is not from my personal collection. That is a gun that's available for sale through my FFL. If it was my personal gun, I would put a brace on it, but I bought the gun off of somebody without a brace on it. I don't feel like spending money to put a brace on it to not make any money off the brace. It's a financial decision based on the store that I have. If somebody chooses to put a brace on it, great. The price I'm selling it for more than allows people to put a brace on the gun. Is that because you're prohibited? Stone isn't prohibited. He's just always watched by the government. Legit AR. It's a Poverty State Armory. Poverty Pony. So, it's got a Radian charging handle and a Radian trigger guard. Ruger sights. The add-ons are worth more than the gun. So what? Which is their research product on the invention of muzzleloaders. Interesting. My fan of the John Wick franchise. The first one was good. The rest became nothing but popcorn. Let's see. I got pulled over carrying a P80 build last year, and the local PD was glitching me because they couldn't record a serial number. It was hilarious. Yep. I took a lieutenant coming out. How do you apply for an FFL? Do you need to be 21 to have any federal? Yes, you need to be at least 21 years old. You need to pass an enhanced background check. You also need... So the ATF is restricting the number of private home FFLs that they're allowing because the larger percentage of problems they have with guns being sold illegally or incorrectly are through private FFLs. So I am a brick and mortar store. I am not a private basement FFL kind of a thing. So they are closing down a lot of the private FFLs due to paperwork errors, and they're also refusing and denying FFLs to a lot of privates. Thinking about printing you a flesh-covered tax sack. That would be kind of funny. Yeah, Stoners want to shoot your alien so bad. Lol. Oh, well, then I stand corrected. Lol. Hey, Diggity. Shop is slow. It's moving, but it's super slow. How much would you charge for that AR, and what brand is it? We don't discuss prices online. Go to wincityanarmory.com. It's listed up there with pictures and everything. I like Wyoming because our gun laws are very lenient. We can open carry and conceal carry without any permits. Yeah, Wyoming is quite fair with their gun laws. West Virginia also has constitutional carry and open carry. Do you have any vids of your car, the Scat Pack? No. It's appeared in a bunch of little videos and stuff, but it's just a car. There's nothing special about it, so it wasn't worth making a video. I used to do videos on all the cars I've owned just because I was selling cars at the time. So I used to be a car review channel, but I don't do anything with cars anymore, so it just didn't really make any sense anymore. All your guns are registered to you per California law. Yeah, but that's a state registry, not a federal registry, thankfully. So if you move, you don't have to worry about it. Is it normal once you buy your first firearm, you get obsessed and want to buy everything? If you have the proclivity for firearms enthusiasm, then yes, you will be buying a lot of guns. What do you recommend for a good quality lasting suppressor for my AR-15 with a 10.5-inch barrel? Oh, I'm not a suppressor guy. I've got a suppressor, but I'm a pistol guy. A lot of people will tell you like Silent Scope 36M, Foxworks, Dead Air. Just don't go for any brand that you've never heard of. You have a website for the shop yet? Yes, it's WinCityArmory.com. Do you know that Red Bull gives you wings? It can. I got a Glock 19 I love, but I recently bought a Smith & Wesson. Is it a good gun? It's basically a Glock clone, so I mean the SD9 is perfectly fine. It's nothing fancy. So Dead Air Sandman is a suppressor that's pretty solid. McManus is going to make you spend all your money for a suppressor you're going to use a few times. So, but he is right. Surefire makes good cans. I regret buying so many guns. I worry about my shitty apartment getting broken into. Well, you need to have a good safe then. Your budget for a suppressor is around $650. You're not getting any of the ones we're talking about then. Your tax stamp alone is $200, so you're going to have $450 to spend on a suppressor. You're going to have a hard time finding a quality AR suppressor because AR rounds are 5.56 or 58,000 psi, so you need a pretty stout suppressor. A 36M is $800 to $900 for the suppressor. The Huxworks is like $750. The Sandman is like $700. So as long as you can add $200 on top, you have a chance of finding one on sale, but otherwise you're not going to get what I would call a good suppressor for $650, including a tax stamp. Unless you're going to just use shoot a 22 or something. That's a 9mm pistol suppressor, and it's $1,000 before the tax stamp. Yeah, so Pistol Rick is offering up Otter Creek. I've never messed with them myself, but hey, check them out. Might be able to get a 22. Yeah, you can easily get a 22 can for that. And actually, the Yankee Hill R9 can is like $500, so it's close to his budget, but it's hard to find in stock. Should I work for a local shop before opening my own? Planning on opening up one in 1 to 2 years. If you don't have any experience in the business, it wouldn't hurt to work for one. Just knowing guns isn't enough. You need to be able to do it all. I wish I could own a 22 long rifle suppressor. That would be boss. What's the top? It's an AR pistol. You're going to be into a 5.56 can for right around 900 if catch sale, including the stamp, but that's super lucky. Yep. The R9 is restricted at 16-inch barrel? What do you mean it's restricted? The Yankee Hill R9 is rated from 9mm pistol to 308. $650 after the tax stamp? No, you're not going to find something for that much that I would call quality. You got some cash out, and nice. The Trash Panda is nice but pricey. Yep. What's the biggest one you got, and what's the smallest one you got? I don't really answer those questions. The smallest one up on the wall tonight is the little black one over my shoulder. That's a J22 Jennings 22 long rifle. And the biggest one on the wall tonight would probably be the Springfield Operator at 45 and the Taylor & Company 357 revolver at 357 Magnum. Whip machine and tool have a dirty 30 and everything comes to 600. Hey, Bailey. Referring to them in that way is actually considered hate speech. So let's go ahead and report you. And then we don't have to deal with you. Bye, Bailey. Couldn't even find something used for that. No, because it's hard to find something used for that because even dealers have to then go through the whole shit. You like the Taylor? Nice. Yep, it's for sale. Glock 17 Surefire Turbo, best active retention holster. Okay. How much more money would I need to open a shop with an indoor range? An indoor range, you're talking in the millions, dude, because you have to get HEPA level filtration systems. You need to have full bulletproofing, lead catching, lead contamination, your ventilation systems. You're going to be, for a 4-lane one, a buddy of mine was looking at getting one set up. Plus, if you want public use, your insurance and range officer fees, you're looking at least $1 million. Science Essential has some nozzlers. Wait for them to come off of the NFA with the Hearing Protection Act. Ha! The R9 has barrel restrictions for everything but 3 on a blackout. Okay, am I reading R9's descriptions wrong? Because they say they're rated for a 9mm pistol. Are you saying they can't go past 16 inches or they can't be put on anything under 16 inches? You found a dead Air Sierra for 5.56 for 747. Yeah, and I did say that earlier. If you go back, I said if you get closer to the 750-ish range, I mean, you should have all that HEPA and stuff for indoor range, but you don't have to. The one I go to is really janky air quality. Then they might be grandfathered in, or they might have been around before certain restrictions came into place. But we looked into buying the shop next to us when Liberty Arms opened because we were going to put in 4 lanes there, and they wanted full everything. See, that's interesting, McManus, because I've seen it put on pistols, and they say they're rated for 9mm pistols. Picked up a CZP-09. What kind of carry ammo do you recommend? Hornady Critical Duty, Hornady Critical Defense, Federal HST. Those 3 are like my top ones, go-tos. I double-checked the webpage. It's on their description. Okay, well then people are putting them on guns they're not supposed to. Including, I think, if you YouTube it. Somebody fact check me. Go check YouTube. I'm pretty sure people are putting them on pistols. Found a Ratworks 9mm suppressor for Scorpion Evo for $450. Yeah, too much. Yeah, the other problem is if it's a 9mm only suppressor, like that's the problem I have with the Osprey. I can't run anything stronger than 9mm through it because it's only rated for 35,000 PSI. Interesting. I think they only have it on paper, if you know what I mean. I guess. The polonium can do down to 7.5 inch. Here's the interesting thing. You can put a can on whatever you want to. Maybe they're talking about their effective noise cancellation, but literally, as long as your barrel isn't all screwed up, you can put a suppressor on anything you want to. Now, the direct pressure coming out the end of it, again, shouldn't matter. So, I mean, you can put it on anything with a 1.5 and 28. Doesn't mean you should, though. Meh. I fired an AR through my Osprey. It bulged the sides. Can you dual-wield Glocks at a target range like in Call of Duty? If the range allows you, I've done it. I mean, I would never dual-wield Glocks because they're Glocks, but... Have I tried Burger King's churro? Nope. I run a Banish on my 300 back. and may or may not be a machine gun, but the instructions strictly forbid that. Yep. It's just a rating. Gotcha. You know what they say? Ratings are nothing but suggestions. Is the air filtration system and whatnot regulated by ATF or EPA? It's, I believe, EPA and city ordinances. Because Harrisonburg, Virginia, was the one that was demanding the full HEPA filtration system. Is it hard to get loans? Is cash needed? Your credit will determine your loans. That's all I can say about that. The other part is finding a bank that is 2A friendly. Thanks for chatting and answering some questions. You're real informative. I appreciate that. Well, thank you for being responsible with your questions, Jason. I appreciate that. Another good place to buy from is Ammo Vault. Yep, Ammo Seek, Ammo Vault. Local auctions are actually sometimes a good chance. Fram or an STP gets in the way of the front sights. You know what's funny, Woody Wood? So that Osprey, even though it's designed to work with factory sights, will sometimes on low-profile sights still block the sight. I still find I'm more accurate even with the suppressor on there because of that. Keep up the good work. Brandon, thank you for the donation. You're a king. Thank you so much. I will keep up the good work. Or the misinformation. Did I tell you about the time I fought a volcano? Local ordinances around here, it's about a $3 million investment. Yeah, there you go. Ammo squared is what I'm doing. Nice. What pistol do you recommend for a new buyer? Lucky. The answer I give, and it's the answer I will always give, is you need to find what fits good for you. If you're looking for a personal carry or you're looking for home defense, that's going to change what I would suggest. If you're looking for a range toy or a do-it-all gun, that's going to affect what I recommend. Now, in terms of what guns are reliable, Glock, Smith & Wesson, Canic, I used to say FN, but screw them. H&K, they're expensive, but they are reliable. Walther with their PDP, those are all very reliable guns that are very good to shoot, but you need to find what you personally like and you can hold and shoot well. Patty, look into opening an indoor gun range. He's not off. What's your opinion on Aero Precision? Is what I recently purchased. I don't know anything about it. Aero Precision is absolutely fine. They use mil-spec designs, so there's two different times for AR. There's commercial and mil-spec. Mil-spec is what you want because almost all the aftermarket manufacturers produce for mil-spec rifles. The triggers are decent out of the box. Their build quality is decent, and they're a great place to either just have a range toy or if you want a good base to start from. Aero makes decent stuff. I tried to get a loan for my OnlyFans business. It was denied. I want to sue for discrimination. You know, I have a GoFundMe up right now. If you guys want to go there. Lago Alien Beth Pithel. I got a really old model 1890 that was my grandpa's, and I'm currently looking for parts. If any suggestions, it's 22 short Winchester. Possibly Numrich, Numrich. Even if they don't have it in stock, they buy stuff constantly. They buy parts guns. They also buy out companies that are going out of business and buy inventory and stuff. Numrich gun parts. Try them. Numrich. Also eBay, believe it or not. Amazon special that is actually temp controls. I would hit the thermometer to make sure the gauge is accurate. What? What did I miss? I have had 0 malfunctions through my staccato P and probably close to 1,000 rounds. Do I have 10 millimeter? Yes, I have 10 millimeter. You have an arrow lower, and it's better than the Anderson. For my city, especially in Milwaukee, it's a shitstorm from that, especially the fact that how political it can get from day-to-day situation. Yeah, that sucks. What do I think about Kimber? They are coming back with their quality control. That has been a problem for them for the last 14 years, but they seem to have figured out how to get quality control back in and lower the price on their guns. So they're getting back to where they should be. I personally have had a bunch of Kimbers that have never had a problem, but I've also been lucky enough. I've also had staccatos that shoot like crap. So is Taurus G9 a good starter gun? G9? What do you mean G9? What's a good 10 millimeter? Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, Glock 20, FN, or not FN, I keep trying to say that SIG makes an X10, so there's a few of them out there. If I have an FFL, am I allowed to manufacture ammunition and sell to the public? You need a different license for that. So having the FFL and a manufacturing license. I don't like microguns at all, Sam. Sorry. Hello, Dawn. Daw. No problem, Andrew. I have the Glock 29 small frame and I love it. There you go. I'm not a big fan of smaller guns. That's just because I'm a big dude. I'm like a little bit over 5 feet tall, so I don't like small guns. I'm an Arrow fanboy. They are local to me, but I can't buy any of them anymore. That's like my Mitchell Mauser's 1911. It was built in California, but it's not legal for sale in California. It's the same thing with that frickin' Springfield. That Springfield is interesting because it's Springfield will put right on their boxes. So will Kimber and a lot of other companies, not on California DOJ roster. Although my Springfield also has a police impound property tag on the back of it. I'm an era. My Kimber Repeat Heat was fun before I got it taken away from me. Yeah, well, he doesn't. Okay, your dad doesn't count because you get him back eventually. My name's Caleb, but I go to skate parks and I'm in a wheelchair. Ah, gotcha. Well, awesome that you go to the skate parks even in the wheelchair. That's amazing, dude. Hope you have fun when you go. Oldest firearm that I have, personally, that I own is a 1907 pocket hammerless, Colt 1903 pocket hammerless built in 1907. What do I think of the X Compact 320? I'm not a fan of the Compact 320s. I don't know what it is about them. It's probably the same thing that I don't like with the 4 1/4 inch 1911s. I don't like the way they feel to shoot with the full-size frame with the short barrel. It's just personal. I prefer if it's going to have a full-size grip that it has a full-size slide. Whatever happened with the video of yours they used? Oh, you're talking about Rock Island. Rock Island is not using my image in their emails anymore, and I spoke directly with the VP of the U.S. side of customer relations and public relations. His name is Lou. His exact title's in the email. I'm not going to pull it up. But we had a conversation. He actually called me on my cell phone, and I explained to him the situation, and he explained to me that no one has ever called them out on it as a negative practice. They said that everybody else was accepting it as free exposure, even though it's just that nobody ever complained. I was the first person that actually complained about having his intellectual property used in a promotional sense. Now, if a company like Rock Island were to have taken my video and said, hey, we're just highlighting this guy. This guy is cool. Check out his shit and put up my video, I probably would have been completely fine with that. That's fine. But when they put my video in their sales email, then they're using me to promote their product. That's not exposure, that is promotion. My Arrow Precision I purchased did not come with an adjustable gas block, and I believe I am over gas because my brass is landing about 2 o'clock and not to my 45 degrees. Do you? I would put on an adjustable gas block. What gun do you recommend for a 34-year-old man in a wheelchair to use for protection against people discriminating against me for being in a wheelchair? Number one, I'm sorry that people are so crappy that they would discriminate you because you are in a wheelchair. I have a lot of friends that are actually in wheelchairs. That's almost like saying, oh, I'm not racist, I have a black friend. No, I actually do have several friends that are in wheelchairs, good customers of mine, things like that. One of them carries a PDP. One of my friends carries a 410 Judge. I hate that you even put into a position where you think you need to carry a gun just because you're being discriminated against. I think you're actually in a better position to carry a firearm, though, being in the wheelchair, because where you put it, you have more options. You can literally tuck it down next to you so you can carry a longer barrel if you choose. But something like the PDP for one of my friends who's in a wheelchair, uses that as his competition gun. Yes, he's a competitive shooter in a wheelchair. And another friend uses a 410 Judge. I would definitely get the adjustable gas block since you're getting a suppressor. What's the thoughts on privately funded gun buyback? I think it might run up some interesting fines. There are people that offer that. Like, honestly, you can do that as well, if you're in a state that allows private sales, it's a lot easier. But as an FFL, I can advertise at any time. Hey, look, dudes, I'm doing a gun buyback. Bring me your guns. I'm not going to question where the gun comes from. I'm just going to buy your guns back. And you could do that. The police like to do it because they think that it shows that they're performing a civic action. But there's nothing that actually says a private FFL or me as an FFL or a private individual in a private sale state can't do that. How long did it take you to buy your second gun after your first? I bought my second gun 3 days after I bought my first. Might want to adjust the recoil spring. Yep. But right, what did he say? How did it end? Did he tell you to piss up a rope? No, actually, it was a good conversation. I apologize, Donald. I should have kept going. I'm sorry. He and I had a nice long conversation. He listened to me very, very well. I believe that, I let him make his points and I made my points. Now, their marketing team, the ones that do the email, Aaron, thank you so much. Thank you for the dono. He said their marketing team is out of the Philippines. He's U.S. based. He's never had that conversation. And he actually listened because I explained to him that they sent me back their response so fast that they had prepared that. And they thought people would accept that. But he apologized. He said that they wouldn't do that anymore. And he put me in touch with their public relations department. So maybe I can get some collaborations with them. And then if they send me a gun to do a review on, they have absolutely every right to use my video. And I told them that. So we'll see what happens. Thing is, I'm Canadian, so it's kind of illegal. The open carry isn't allowed, and selling buying guns is not illegal. See, that's a hard thing, Caleb. I wish I had an answer for that. Hopefully the next prime minister isn't a dick. Bruce, thanks for your help. Another great Win City transaction. You're welcome, dude. Please cherry pick what comes in and takes them home. Yeah, I agree. I bet. It's a must to have an adjustable gas block. It's not a must, but if you're going to be building for a suppressor, like you're going to make it custom for it, and you don't like your gas block as it is, I would just add the adjustable gas block. What's your favorite automatic rifle? Don't really have a favorite automatic rifle because I don't own any because I don't have the tax stamps for them. If I were to be able to buy one right this moment, though, it would probably be a MP5. There are mega restrictions on Canada, Carrie. I think you can buy shotguns and certain long guns, but like almost everything has been banned up there. You got to remember, most of Canada is under British rule. So Britain doesn't have guns. They don't want Canada to have guns. I don't know who Pam Bondi is. I'll have to check it out. What's your number one snake gun for rattlesnakes? I'm just curious. If I was going to be carrying something for rattlesnakes, it would be my Ruger GP100 and 357 with snake shot in it. American attorney, lobbyist, politician, served as the 80th since 2025, member of the Republican Party. She served as Florida's Attorney General from 11 to 19. She's the first woman elected to office. Well, good for her. She doesn't look 60 years old. I'll give her that much. Hopefully get a nice brand deal out of it. Yeah, my response to them wasn't looking for anything like that. And he invited me to the NRA show down in Georgia, and I'm going to go just to meet him, even though I'm not a fan of the NRA. I think that they're a bunch of hypocritical douche nozzles. But I will go down there because I do have a lifetime membership that I never canceled. Is that an 1873 Colt single-action revolver in the background? It is the Taylor & Company Pieta built. It doesn't say Pieta anywhere on it, but Taylor's & Company uses the parts kits for the Pieta revolvers. But it is Taylor's & Company's 1873. This is getting guns are so hard in Canada. I wonder how hard it is to get an FFL. Almost impossible. I don't think Canada wants to be our 51st state. No, we need to just take it. All right, Mouse. I'm back. Who invited you? The vice president of relations for Rock Island. British rule, technically, they have the Governor General who hypothetically can issue orders, but they generally stay out of proceedings. Yeah, exactly. So they have the Queen or the King on their money, but they typically don't. They follow the lead set by their They didn't want to have a tea party, so they wear kilts or dresses. So the guy that I've been speaking to, I actually talked to him today. Let's see. He is so he is vice president of Arms Corps customer relations. So he's like the guy when a problem like mine comes up, they eventually get him involved. When am I going to Georgia? In April. It's in April at some point. I got to double check. It's like April 20th or something like that. Taylor Foes more with Uberti. I guess, but they sell the Pieta kits on their website too, though. Justin, you have a good one, dude. It's more of a cultural holdover at this point. Yeah, you're looking a lot better since you changed your diet. Thank you, Don. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've lost about 12 to 15 pounds. Yes, definitely am thinner. And the Ruger RPR in 17, nice. Yeah, behind me, the stick, that is the Osprey 9 2.0 from Silencer Co. So it doesn't use the same setup. McManus has the first gen. I have the second gen. The second gen is much more serviceable than the first gen. Do you go hunting? No, I don't. I was thinking the 22 LR with CCI quiet ammo. That would be quiet. On my CGP01, should I replace the firing pin retaining pin with original CZ pin or get the solid pin from CZ Custom? Either one is solid. I don't really have an opinion either way. Do it. I mean, it's your gun, man. Either one is good. We're doing a birthday party for Sophia on the 27th. Well, congratulations. She's never going to remember it, dude. Is Sophia the one that you're dressing? No, that was the other one. No, you and I have never friended on Roblox. How do I talk my wife into carrying? It's a very difficult thing to do, honestly, Jason. So, like, my buddy's wife has a permit and has a gun, but she never carries it. It's really difficult to make somebody want to carry. If they aren't a big gun enthusiast, it's hard to get them to do that. If they carry a bag a lot, maybe consider getting them like a gun-toting mama's purse. Gun-Toting Mamas is the female-owned company that manufactures pretty decent-looking bags. They actually have a lot of cool functions with them. They have a pocket that the gun can go into so it doesn't have to rattle around with all this stuff. Has a strap that has metal in it so they can't just cut the purse off of a person's body. It also has RFID blocking shielding in it. What should say on the... What are you talking about, Banner? I have a Fallout Clone Correct lower from the Long Beach Arsenal. Well, that's cool. It's all broken in, which doesn't take long. It's super smooth. I use mine for hunting. Nice. If they don't want to carry, don't force them. Confidence of use is what will keep them from being taken and used on them. Yep. Your wife is sitting next to you watching me answer your questions. No problem. And again, Mrs. Jason, Reich. There's a lot of I's in the last name, if that's actually how it's spelled. My apologies for your calligraphy practice. Yeah, like I said, there's lots of stuff. The best way I can put it to somebody to at least get them thinking about it is it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. That's the other thing that I would espouse. Just because you're carrying a gun doesn't mean you will ever be required to use it. Even if you're in an active shooter situation, just because you have a gun does not mandate that you have to get into a firefight. So keep that in mind as well. Hopefully, my bad. What is the purse company name? Gun-Toting Mamas. Yes, they are real. Something tells me you're not old enough to be here, so I think you already hit them. So, Backfire was live. Just hopped onto the interweb net. What? Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear win. Don't say that. That's a mod. My daughters were against guns. I invited one of them to go with me to the range. Now they're both hanging out with me at the range. That's cool. We took my buddy's wife out there, and she just meh. Which brand makes a reliable PCC 500 to 1000 in 9mm? Honestly, Ruger with the actual PCC, that's what they call theirs. The Ruger PCC and Smith & Wesson with the FPC are the two I would suggest you look at first. Camp 380. My buddy used to carry one of those. I see you have a Derringer. Yes, sir. 38 special. Fish is doing good. I don't know if this is a demographic suggestion from YouTube or because I've spent time here before, but I find your streams almost without fail if I'm scrolling through shorts. Jordan, maybe not. Like, I'll be honest, there are a lot of people that I don't get recommended to for some reason. Like, a lot of you guys that are into guns, I watch a few different gun channels, but I don't watch a lot of their videos, I guess, and I almost never watch their shorts. So I don't get recommended them in the shorts. Lately, it's all been TV clips and car videos, because I've been watching a lot of car videos, because I've been thinking about putting a supercharger on the Navigator. Wasser 1063 versus a Z-Pap. I'd go with the Z-Pap over the Wasser personally, but they're both okay. To this day, I'm still afraid of a broom. You should be. You never know where that tactical broom is hiding. Yes, Ryan, that is the rose gold Glock 43X MOS. Best way to pronounce my name is to sound it out the way I'm going to spell it. The night shift gun took tonight off, so I'm on until 10 p.m. Jesus! What's your opinion on a SIG 320? They're fine. Get one, practice, you'll be fine. I see you have micro pistols. What are they? The black one is a Jennings J22 and 22 long rifle. The silver one is the KB Industries Frazier 25 ACP, and the other one is a ROM 17 Derringer. This is how you sound out my last name, Rylick. Oh, okay. I guess if my eyes weren't playing with me, I would have seen that was an L between the two eyes, and I could have done it, though. I'm sorry, my eyes, when I'm trying to read, and there's an I, and then the L and the I, for some reason, I'm adding another dash underneath, so it looks like it's R-E-I-I-I-C-H. I am so sorry, sir. Yes, Riley, got it. Supercharge the Navigator. How about Megazilla with a 3-stage Whipple? No, I just want to supercharge it to see if it explodes, because it already makes some weird sounds that I need to figure out. I may make a video on that for diagnosing it, because when it's warm, it makes a lot of weird noises. It might need the timing guides replaced. We'll see. 320s will give you the opportunity to test your ability to apply a tourniquet under stress. Has anybody actually hit a femoral, though? I think one guy shot himself in the ass. Another guy hit himself in the ankle. It's amazing how a gun in a holster goes off by it, though. My 4-month-old son finds more entertainment in my ceiling fan than any of his toys or books. You want to even get even more depressed about how much money you're spending on your child, Diggity? Give him the box for his diapers next time you change them. Duty weapon. Well, I'm not in the military, so I don't carry a duty firearm, but I do carry a carry firearm, and it's a 1911. What's a good caliber for revolver? I like a good 357 Magnum. That's like a good one, because you can also fire 38 specials out of it. Some dudes will tell you to get a 44 Magnum. That's a fun range toy. And I have a 460 XVR, which is a Smith & Wesson 460 Magnum, which is just under the 500. It's on the same frame. But 357 Magnum is like, to me, that is the GOAT for revolvers. Because you can get like 7-round cylinders in like the 627 Tracker from Taurus and a couple other guns. And then you got a lot of 357. Waited till one, Diggity. They love playing with the box more than the boy, more than the toy. You mean like with as a worry stone? Like I know what you're saying. Sorry. 6mm arc was plinking rocks today at 350, 450, 520, far beyond the horizon in God's country. What the hell just fell off of me? Oh, chamber indicator. Sounds like you're having some fun, Mr. Fish. Is it true about them going off? Yes, but not to the extent that everybody keeps on telling you online. I zeroed in my AR pistol that has a 10.5-inch barrel at 50 yards. Is that a good starting point? Absolutely. 50 yards is great because 50 will hit it 100, 150, no problem. If you're trying to go out super far, but you've got a shorter barrel, so 50 is fine. There's been like 40 accidentally discharged to U.S. military and police forces, according to the newest court documents, including one fatality. Thank you for the update. I didn't know that it had gotten up to that many that have been claimed. You have P320X and have never had an issue. Me neither. Why is Springfield TRP 500 more than the operator AOS? Because the TRP has front strap checkering on it from the factory. Supposedly some of the other components are better in it. The TRP, even if you're talking about non-optics cut versus the operator, like that's the standard operator behind there. MSRP is like 1159 or something like that. Yeah, the TRP just, number one, the cost of front strap checkering. I believe the trigger is different, and the internal materials are better. Kids are always interested in the outlets more than anything. That's why you plug them. Or you give them a fork and see what happens. Here you go, Johnny. Oh. That's why we had 3 of you. Love the arsenal, buddy, in the back. Thank you. Don't type in all caps. I don't get it. I built 2 320s from MPUs and had 0 issues, so I destroyed the thing to get it to drop the striker. So, if the guns that are typically in question are built pre-2021, like for the military contracts, SIG built probably 500,000 to 750,000 guns before 2021. But in the 10 years the SIG 320 has been around, there's been, what is it, like 5 million guns have been produced or something like that, including the military and the law enforcement issue guns. So to have 40 malfunctions out of millions is actually quite low. Sorry, I'm tired. Don't worry, I know what you were saying. Okay, I remember being a kid and getting a toy for Xmas for birthday in a box was low-key the best part, especially if I could fit in it. Yep, if I sits, I sit. If I fits, I sits. If the TRP was cut, it would be so good. I don't see the extra value in the front strap checkering. I put skate tape on mine. Also, I believe the TRP has a magwell right from the factory. The operator doesn't. It's not a claim when there's video lol. I like a lot of videos. It does appear to like a perfect storm of poor manufacturing and a weird design flaw. Allegedly, newer ones have the manufacturing corrected. Oh, 100%. And again, so there's always a reason for it to happen. There has to be some sort of action that creates an opposite and equal reaction. That's just the way physics work. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying that it's not. I don't deny that 320s go off on their own. I'm just saying we live in a current time and place where your 40 accidental discharges in 10 years are still 1/5 the number of Glock 19s that did it. There's over 200 lawsuits against Glock in their first 10 years in the United States regarding their accidental discharges. Were these accidental discharges caused by people carrying a chambered round? No, because if you're carrying a gun, it should be chambered. The gun should not fire. The guns have what are called firing pin blocks in them, or striker drop safeties in them. They were bad manufacturing on the part of the manufacturer. The tolerances between the sear and the disconnector and the firing pin block and the way it was positioned in the gun. If you look at a Glock, take the top off your Glock and look at where your firing pin block is on a Glock. It's all the way up at the front before the firing pin gets to the chamber. Whereas the SIGs have it all the way at the back, which means that is as close to the back of the gun as can possibly be. So when the gun gets hit on the back, whatever the case is, the strike is going literally against the firing pin block and the sear disconnector area. So all of that is taking the immediate hit versus it being way further down the gun. So that leads to some susceptibility to firing. That's just one people are suing over. They explode as well, which really isn't being addressed because it's not resulting in lawsuits. They explode. Yeah, but everybody keeps blaming the ammo for that, McManus, even though it is the unsupported chamber. As a Canadian, I love my paintball slingshot. I like my sharp stick. Wait, it's sharp? No, I mean I like my stick. My next gun is going to be a 44 mag because I need a good bear gun. There you go. Absolutely, Kage. My brother did not. Hey, man, I love your outfit. I thought I would spread some love. Thank you, Motivate. My wife said she didn't come in a box, but I can play with hers. I just shot coffee out of my nose. Lol. Your wife's a keeper, dude. Is Bear code for something? Yes, Bear. He's in Canada. I don't know where he is. You don't like front strap checkering? Have you never felt the luxury of 30 plus lines per inch? Oh, I do like it, but I'm not paying an extra $700 for it. I mean, okay, and I agree, but that's also a problem. Glock didn't call me a frickin' engagement hacking anti-gun grifter for asking questions about their garbage. That's because when they were having their problems, you were 16 and the internet didn't exist. But yeah, I get what you're saying, dude. But I can tell you right now, if Glock had the problems they had in their first 10 years now, during the same period that SIG had their problems, you'd have just as much hate directed towards Glock. I'm not saying it would be more hate, but you would have the exact same vitriol against Glock if their Glock 19 Gen 2 was released at the same time that the 320 was. SIG keeps blaming the ammo. I suspect in some case it is ammos. Yes. Well, and that's the other thing. It also it depends on the manufacturing defects, man. Because my SIG 320 X5 Legion has like 28 or 2,900 rounds through it, and it's never exhibited any like curious detonation. It's never had curious, like, I've never seen pressure coming out from behind the chamber supporting area. So like personally, my gun's never had a problem, and I run 154 grain through it. What do they mean by when they say polish the trigger? So on some guns, you can, well, on a lot of guns actually, you can disassemble the gun and you can make sure that the metal internally is as smooth as possible. For a 1911, the disconnector literally sits on top of the sear. So when the sear allows drag across it, so if there's like a metal spur on there, it can create a feeling of a hesitant. And again, this isn't accurate. I'm just doing it basically just to show you an example. But when it drops, if there's a spur or metal shaving or something that's causing a little bit of a hang up, it can affect the way the trigger feels. So by making sure the internals are as smooth as possible, that there's no defects in the metal, things like that, you get a smoother trigger. And sometimes you get a lighter trigger too. Best gun you've ever shot? My CZ Tactical Sport Orange. It's also the best gun I've ever thrown. Hit the like button, double tap your screen. Yes, please do. Is that a 1911? Yes, that's a Springfield operator. Thank you for noticing. You win today's prize. Nothing! You also notice I don't monetize these videos, these lives anymore. What's your opinion on the Glock that you don't like them? My problem with Glock is that they're super boring. They're not as good as people make them out to be. They function in the same way that an AK functions. The reason why AKs run is because their tolerances are crap. Glock employs the same principle when they build their guns to make them functional, but it's also the reason why if you limp wrist, which means if you don't lock your wrist out when you're shooting a Glock, you can stovepipe it every single time because of how bad their tolerances are. If you also hold up a Glock, you can literally look through the side of the gun, which again shows their loose tolerances. So what Glock has managed to do is make their marketing team make you believe that they are perfection when what they are is excellence through mediocrity. Because they have super loose tolerances, they function better. They just happen to find the sweet spot of functionality and the sweet spot of marketing to put the two together. It's the same reason why De Beers used to sell diamonds for so much money, and that's why diamonds are so expensive. Diamonds are nothing. They have no real value outside of sandpaper or diamond cutting wheels, yet we still think they're worth a ton of money. Your TSO now, Stone. I have officially given up custody of it because both you and McManus have had it apart. It's no longer mine. Anyone that has loaded ammunition can tell you about the difference in brass across manufacturers, thin case, unsupported chambers, hot loads. Yep. Would you ever shoot your play button? No, I thought about it, but no reason to. They're so cheap. It's not like the old school play buttons, which were a big chunk of whatever. Nowadays, it's just it's a piece of, it's not even glass. It's a polished, like it's a mirror sticker. Do you have an AR-15? There's literally one up at the top of the board. I've shot the SIG P320. I think that's what it's called. My buddy has one with a red dot. What's your thought on red dots? Red dots can definitely help newer shooters and people that have vision problems and people that have physical problems because it's one point of aim versus having to sight in a gun. I believe that, at least in my opinion, you should have at least a good fundamentals with iron sights before you go to red dots, but there are some people that just can't graduate to red dots. Thank you for your service. I did not serve, Carl. I just look like somebody who did. You should take donos to shoot the play button. I don't want to shoot it, man. You guys can't pay me. You paid me $3,000 to get a Glock tattoo. You'd have to pay me at least $5,000 for me to shoot the button. $5,000 and I'll shoot the play button with a 37mm launcher. What's a good reliable mouse gun for pocket carry? That's a hard one. I'd say the smallest gun that actually has really good reviews that I would consider carrying in a pocket and like a sticky holster would be like the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. Have you seen the new AR upper that's a bolt action? Yes, I have. They were designed for a few different reasons, including California. Irons are faster. I'll die on the hill. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I prefer accuracy by volume. At 52 years old, red dots are a huge help for me. Well, there you go, girl. Not gonna lie, I think I can survive the shotgun blast like Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Be careful. That's how you got the Glock tattoo? Yeah, you didn't know that, Diggity? So we were on a live one time, and because of my opinions on Glock, everybody was like, how much for you to get a Glock tattoo, and where would you put it? And I said I would put it in this hexagon, and I would keep it for 2 years. Eventually, it's going to get blacked out like my other hexagons are. But I said I'd keep it for 2 years. And originally, I think we started at like $5,000, and I let everybody talk me down to $2,500. And then some dipshit talked me into getting the rainbow coloring put in it, which actually caused it to react terribly. It's his fault that it's been degraded as much as it has. But yeah. What kind of revolver is that? That is the Taylor & Company Pieta parts built 1873 single action. So all you new people, I need you guys to do me a big favor. It's 10 o'clock. I usually ask on the hour. Please forgive me. I am not seeking money. I am simply seeking likes, subscriptions, interactions. Please type something out. Say hi at the very least, or hey, you're an idiot. I accept that when I ask for it. But by doing that, you show Google and you show YouTube that they can promote a firearms channel, which has always been a problem ever since, well, advertising and revenue sharing started on the platform. Way back in the day, you used to be able to watch ritual killings on YouTube, but not anymore. So what I'm trying to do is show that my channel, which does reviews and stupid little shorts and these live streams, is okay to promote on YouTube. And hopefully it promotes an environment that allows people to be safe on YouTube with their gun channels. So if you guys wouldn't mind, just hit the like button, say, hey, you know what, you're worthy of it. That's all I ask. When you get it fixed, the timer starts on the 2 years. No, because I'm not getting it fixed. The way it looks, it actually looks better because it looks dilapidated. It's still fully readable as Glock, and I don't need to fix it. How much for a Harris Waltz tattoo? Actually, I said for $10,000, I was willing to put Biden 2024 under my bicep, but I was going to do it in binary. I think I said 10,000 for that. Why are revolvers so much more expensive than semi-auto pistols? Because they take more precision to do right. They take the way they're put together. You can slap together a revolver like John Wick did in John Wick 3 or whatever it was, and you might get something that functions. But if you want something like a Ruger or a Smith & Wesson Model 29 or hell, even a good like Raging Hunter, Raging Bull, they cost money because they're basically, I don't know if they're all, so I'm not going to make that claim, but they're a lot more complicated to build. And their sales numbers are always smaller too. In the Derringer, you could put 2 different kinds of bullets. That one is only rated for 38 special, so I would not put difference. Edwin, you have a great night, dude. Appreciate you hanging out. Hello, just discovered your channel. Thank you, GA. Knowing Jiminy Glock tattoo story equals $3,000 lore. Yep. How do I feel about the APX A1 carry? I haven't put my hands on the carry. I've only shot the A1. I like the line. I think it's fine. I'm not a big fan of carry guns. Carry size, I mean. Some idiots messing with me with red dots, and a little while back it was so annoying. Sorry to hear that, Sway. And there are some people that kind of go the Bible thumper, but they're kind of the red dot thumper, where they try to force you to accept that red dots are the way to go. For some people it is, some people it's not. My 1911s typically are all iron guns, although I wouldn't mind having my replacing my old Kimber Aegis Elite Custom with one that's optics cut. I don't get all that, Patrick, but you have a good one. I pocket carry a 365. It works great. There you go. Bro, you are one of the best YouTubers. Thank you. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a content creator, but I appreciate the sentiment. What's a good gun to start out with? You live in Illinois. I don't know what's legal even there, brother. Just go to a gun store, see what fits in your hand, man. That's all I can tell you. I want one gun, please. Ah, you're at the wrong drive-up window, sir. I've been trying to rebuild a little RG-23 revolver for a few months. It looks so simple. Yeah, until all those little parts go spring. Leather condom holster. Whoa. I used to stone, pretty much settled now. So, what was I about to say? No idea. I've been looking into buying my first pistol. I really want a revolver, but Taurus has some decent looking semi-autos, really cheap. That is true, but if you're also looking at revolvers, I would recommend you look at the EAA Windicator. They're about $400-ish, and they're in 357 Magnum. All the guns on the wall are legal in Illinois. Really? Even an AR pistol? And a suppressor? Interesting. Have I handled a Henry repeater? Do I recommend them? They are good guns. They're a little on the expensive side, though, for my opinion. But if you absolutely want a good Henry repeater, yes. Maybe not the AR, maybe not the suppressor. Everything else is good. Just checking, dude. I wasn't sure what the ruling was on the pistols. How can we get the 30 millimeter reclassified as a sporting cartridge? It's going to require somebody letting Elon Musk borrow theirs for a few days, and then I'm sure it'll become legal for Tesla upgrades, subscription service to get a Gal 8 put into your Tesla Plaid. I carry the P10C during the day, but my net gun is either the Alien or Nighthawk. I see all of the guns that I've provided you are no longer even worthy. I see how it is. I'll take them all back, please. Ever often, what? Are you on Tinder? No, I am not on Tinder. Am I on Tinder anymore? I was on, Hey, I Like You, Bumble, Grindr, that one with the Bear Grizzlies, that one for queer dating, what else was I on? J-Date, you know. Figure if they're in prison, at least I know where they are all the time. Plus, have you seen some of the people that get in trouble these days? Wow. My inbox is open for the Alien whenever you're ready. Or you break it and you have to fix it. Whatever. You know we can't buy assault rifles. Yeah. Fuck Illinois. Oh, phone's glitching. I just saw lol. Hot. What's the hardest part about starting and maintaining a gun store, and what gets overlooked the most? Number one, the boredom of sitting and waiting for people to show up at your store. Number two, inventory, because you don't realize how expensive ammo is until you start carrying every caliber. Like, I only have all the pistol calibers and a few of the rifle calibers, and I've got like $6,000 in ammo just sitting. Your guns get very expensive. Your eventual overhead, if you start doing everything digitally, gets pretty expensive too. Do all tax stamps cost the same? Yes, $200. It's a flat rate. It was actually one of the only good things that was instituted when they instituted the Class 3 program, was it was considered a legacy tax. The reason it's $200 and always has been was because in 1960 whatever the fuck, it was $2 to buy a suppressor and $200 for the tax stamp. So it was literally 100 times more money to buy this tax stamp than it was the suppressor. That way the US government didn't have to say, oh, we're banning them outright. They were saying, no, you can buy it. If you can afford the tax stamp, you can buy it. But the IRS or whoever wrote the articles for it made it a legacy tax, meaning it can never be raised. I just want to fire explosive Red Bull cans at 3,000 RPM. Well, I'm going to get the 37 millimeter launcher, and I'm pretty sure I can put whatever I want in front of the shell. Give me about another month, McManus. I'll find a way to break it. No Dremel! Whoa. What are your thoughts on Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 trigger? Does the gun only come... Yes, it only comes in 380, and the trigger pull is fine. I mean, it's okay. It's not like... It's a carry gun, so it should be... I think they average around 6 pounds. It's fine. It also got the M&P's trigger versus the old Shield trigger. What do you... thanks for the info. No problem, TJ. What's the markup on ammo and guns if you are comfortable sharing that information? That varies from person to person. Ammo, the markup is a little bit higher, but we all get it from the same place. Guns can be... The average is anywhere from 10 to 15%, although I've seen some places where they cater to their audience. So like there's a couple of places I know of where Dracos are like $1,200 for no reason. What got you into guns? My buddy opened a gun store, took me to the range before they opened the gun store, and I really enjoyed it. In 1934, the Thompson machine gun was $200. I wish it still was, man. Need to have someone make a 37 millimeter ammo with tannerite in it. They sell reloadable shells, Stone. They're sending me the metal shells and the plastic shells, so the metal shells have replaceable primers. What's up with the consignment gun? Which particular one, sweetie? There's a few of them on there now, so... I think companies like Glock hard lock the price, and it's like 10% margins on them. So yes, a lot of companies that do what's called manufacturer asking prices, MAP pricing, they set the price. So for example, like a Glock 19 non-MOS, I think they're like $489, but cost is like $449. So you don't make much. There are some of the high-end guns that are that way too, man. Some of the high-end like SIG X5 226, it's got like $100 markup on a $2,600 gun. Doesn't make any sense. Is that an ongoing thing that you're considering? So I charge 17% on consignment guns. So if I sell your gun, I get 17% of the final price. Other than FFL, what other licensing or permit do you need? State and federal licenses for retail sales. You need a zoning permit. If you're renting property like I am, you have to get a letter from the owners of the property that they're okay with you having a gun store. Just simple stuff. If you talk to your local zoning commission, they can usually help you out too. Do you advertise on your vehicle? No. So I don't get super into the taxes. I just take all my receipts and pay a lady. But yeah, my average, so there's different ways that you can write off a vehicle. So the best way, at least for me, is by mileage, because if I drive, you can write off 80% of your mileage as business if you want, if you use it strictly for business, and I do. So if I drive 10,000 miles, I get to write off 8,000 miles at 70 cents a mile or something like that. So I get it like an almost $6,000 write-off from that, which is a lot more than interest or anything else that I pay. You don't use lights or lasers on your weapons. Lasers have no purpose unless it's something like a revolver or a pocket pistol. Lights, I don't shoot in the dark, and I don't carry in a holster that allows for lights very often. Thank you, very interesting. Thank you. I think that's very cool. Thank you. Being overgassed, does that cause more wear and tear on your AR-15? It's possible. It can cause things like if parts are slamming together harder than they're supposed to, there's always a chance of physical damage. Looks like Bondi don't like suppressors. Nah, but she's technically a Republican, so she's just got to toe the party line. You're from the UK. I have a plank of wood with a nail sticking out of it. Wow. How many permits did you have to get to have a nail? Governor, you're treading a fine line. You better be careful. Sorry, I've been listening to this book on tape, and the dude has an even worse accent than that. I'm curious in the military, if one were to go to work, they don't overgas it anyway, so they make sure nothing gets jammed. Not 100% sure, man. I don't like micro guns. I think you should carry the largest possible gun that you can comfortably carry and conceal. Do you have a light attachment on your bedside gun? I have a light on my shotgun, but not on my 1911. There's a military spec for military rifles. Most civilian ARs come over gas from the factory for that very reason. There you go, brother. There's McManus answering your question. You don't shoot in the dark. Sounds like you don't own any night vision. No, I really don't. Do I do training courses or take any courses? I've done a little bit of shooting training with one of my range guys, and then my boss at the first store was back before the NRA was a bunch of people. He was an NRA certified instructor, so he taught me some stuff. Basically, I practice the acorn drill almost exclusively. My guns get a little scratched up, but it's fun to throw them. Do it jiggle? No, I'm Asian, dude. I don't have anything to jiggle. Oil filters make great suppressors, blah, blah, blah. M1911 is goated. Agreed. I know that guy's cousin. Don't need night vision to shoot in the dark. What do you like about my... What, don't you? The size? I'm over 4.5 feet tall, so I don't handle small guns very well. Small world. Yeah, see, you almost doxed them, though, Corvette guy, when you said that they were hermaphrodite. There's only like 2 of those in the country right now, right? Night vision is expensive. That is true. If it weren't for Hollywood portraying suppressors as silent as airsoft guns, it would be much cheaper and probably no tax stamp. It's a mix of everything, but yeah, old white people watch the movies. I never owned a suppressor, and I know the answer is probably yes, but will the subsonic suppress the hearing safe in a basement? Yes. The thing that makes a round not hearing safe is the supersonic crack. So as long as it's a subsonic ammo going at a subsonic rate, now the sound of it hitting something in your basement might be super loud, so keep that in mind. I really don't recommend shooting in your basement, though. What buffer spring and buffer do you recommend? I'm not really a long gun guy. I'd probably say something like an H3, though. There's lots of Democrats on every corner. Jesus. Hard hit. Somebody call an ambulance. Corvette's knocking them all out. You identify as a Gatling gun? I identify as a problem. Yes, 300 blackout is super quiet. Also, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the shorts I've done with that Osprey, but holy shit, 147 grain subsonic through that Osprey out of any of my 9mm pistols is so freaking quiet, it's scary. You got an RPG? Yes, I have the game GURPS, which is what Fallout was based on. In the UK, you can buy suppressors that are banned in the US. A lot of countries actually allow you to because they're firearm accessories. A lot of countries realize that. The US is not one of them. What caliber Thor or a 5.56? Probably an H1. That's benefit of rifle length. Nah. H3. Go heavy. Go heavy or go home. If we run standard velocity, you should be good. My 1022 SV rounds break the sound barrier. Yep. Can we get most of the suppressors available? We can get most of yeah. Do you have a Glock 19? Yes, but not here. What does new old stock SKS sell for now? No clue, my grandma. Sorry. Do you play ready or not? I haven't in a long time. I played it when it first came out. I have it. I've updated it a few different times with different mods like better AI and stuff. I've beaten the whole game, so like I haven't played it a lot. Sorry, I won't do it again. Won't do what again? What barrel length is your 20? Oh, you're talking to somebody else. I got 2 FRT triggers and a few binary triggers. FRT is easiest to get the cadence down. Like I don't have any experience with the FRTs. I know I can outrun a binary on a good day. So yeah, I do agree. What's my opinions? The only reason I have the binary in my AR is because my buddy took it out of a trade-in gun and offered it to me, and I gave him my trigger. I don't even remember what trigger I had in my gun, but he said, "Hey man, I took this out of a customer's gun, a trade-in gun. We're not going to sell it. Do you want it?" So that's the only reason I have a binary, and I've let all my friends shoot it, and as is typical, nobody ever replaced the ammo they shot. So. As for FRTs, I've never actually shot one. I know they can be quick. There was that whole few year thing where they were fighting the legalities of it since they're so easy to install wrong. Ask your local seamstress to attach a layer of Mylar on the outside of your warm layers and go over that with another light fabric. What? If you have an indoor range, would any sort of monthly subscription-based service be beneficial? Kind of thinking about implementing some sort of subscription-based stuff. No, but you can have memberships. Like you can have memberships for priority booking of the lanes and stuff like that. A subscription thing doesn't make a lot of sense just because it just really doesn't. So I would have a yearly fee that allows for priority use of the lanes. But a monthly subscription, you'll get too many people trying to find ways to abuse that. What do I EDC? 1911. You are binary now? Oh, hell yeah, dude. I got them both. I've got an innie, an outie, and an outie, and outie. When I throw up, I throw up out of this one, and I have an innie belly button. All the other holes are whatever. Any hole's a port in a storm. Any opinions on the silent buffer tube spring? I've never messed with one, Jason. Hi, Aubrey. Do you have a Glock 19? Yep. They're fine, but honestly, regular buffers are also fine. I think they're the answer to the question no one asked. Lol. What's your favorite gun? 1911s. Membership was the word. Yep. Membership, definitely. You should definitely maintain a membership for your clientele. Also, you can sell packages. Like if somebody wants to buy like 5 trips or 6 packages or whatever, offer package deals where you can save on package deals. You just spent $750 on the AR-15. Yeah. Is that a Beretta Centurion? No, that is a custom Beretta 84. It's actually a Resident Evil inspired one. It's got custom Kendo Custom Shop on one side and Samurai Edge Prototype on the other side of the slide. How do you feel about FDE guns? They're not my style, but they're fine. I mean, the color of the gun, as long as the functionality is there, doesn't matter to me. Do I prefer a flat trigger? Yes, because I'm used to a 1911 and I like the straight pull. So having a flat trigger gives you a little bit more close to a 90-degree pull. That's a tattoo you should have gotten. If they ask enough, 1911 with the line through it, that would be funny. Do trigger safeties have any drawbacks? They don't feel great, but yeah, they're usually attached to triggers that aren't that good because they're usually attached to triggers that are attached to striker-fired guns, and outside of the P99, PDP, and the Mechanics, there are very few good striker-fired triggers out of the box. Thank you, guys. Everybody have a great night. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason's wife. Y'all have a great one. Do you suggest USCCA protection? No. If you're thinking about getting a USCCA insurance plan, I highly recommend you go into your backyard and just set the money on fire. USCCA will only take your case if they know they can win it. They will recommend that you take deals, which will lose your gun rights. They also have been known to refuse to represent somebody that has actually shot somebody. They are a waste of your time, a waste of your money, and a waste of your energy. The better thing to do is to check in your area and find out who your 2A lawyers are. Speak to them, see if they're willing to take a retainer. Because the elite package for USCCA is like, what, $200 a month? If there's a 2A lawyer that's willing to take $2,000 a year to be on retainer, I would rather do that, because you will have a specific lawyer on retainer that you can call and speak to at any time regarding 2A law, versus USCCA, who assigns a random lawyer in your area should you need it. So no, USCCA can suck my bing bong. Is it possible to delete trigger safeties? Yes. For example, if you look closely at a Glock trigger safety or a Smith & Wesson trigger safety, anyone that is an articulated, not the articulated trigger, but has a trigger safety blade, if you look at how they interact with the gun, literally all they do is it's a piece of plastic or metal that interferes with the trigger's ability to be pulled backwards. It literally has to go into a slot inside the frame in order to let the trigger go back. So if you don't have the trigger blade on a trigger blade safety, the gun will fire. 100% I agree with McManus though. It is there for a reason, and a trigger blade safety honestly is not a big deal. I mean, it should never affect your ability to put a gun into service. A rear grip safety on a 1911 or a manual safety on a 1911 can be more problematic than a trigger safety, because if you're holding the gun right, you can always fire a gun with a trigger safety. Tennessee, Virginia, and those states are my favorite because of mountains. Ha! So, no, I did not know that, Fract. Trigger's likely going to suck even without the trigger dingus. Yeah. Is the lever gun threaded? No, it's just a old Ithaca model 4922, not threaded. What time are we at? 10:30. Hey, you guys liking the video yet? Come on, guys. All you new people, like the video. Your mom's called me and told me you're a bunch of punk-ass bitches if you're too afraid to hit the like button. Have I ever concealed carry in a boot? No. Because I don't wear boots. But yeah, I have no reason to conceal carry like a backup. I'm very physically disabled, so if I bend over to pull something out of my leg holster by my stump, I'm going to fall over. Barrel just looks elongated. It does. There's a little bit of a shadow, and it is a little bit longer past the end because it doesn't have a mag tube. It's literally a single shot, but you could thread it. I think it's long enough. Let me know if you want to fly fish. I'll have to implement a Jiminy Show discount this season. Yeah, me standing in water trying to catch fish is not good. Nice cap. Thank you. I like these. These are Flex Fit. I get them off of Amazon. They're $11. I don't like snapbacks. I like fitted caps. Ever since I bought my first one back in like 2008, something like that, 2007 was when I bought my first fitted cap. I've never worn a snapback since. Which gun is your favorite? 1911s. Is that a G2C? No, it's a G3X and a G3. My mama ain't raised no bitches. Yeah, my mama didn't raise an idiot. TV raised an idiot. I love fly fishing, but I only have one spot to go around. Also, it's really hard to catch flies. How does the like button equate to the 100 emoji on the side of chat? It really doesn't. The emojis on the side of chat are just for you guys to show love. I actually, believe it or not, if you hit it like 1,000 times, I get like a nickel. So, I can't really beatbox. Is that a rifle in a frame? That is a non-firing replica of a Winchester 1886. What's the stainless black one? That is a KB Industries Fraser 25 ACP. Video cue the radio star. Hope you're still doing well. Quit my job at 13 years. Gonna build my own business. Any sage words of wisdom? I almost died doing it, so slow down, take your time, and take care of yourself. Montana is the second best state in the union. It's so nice there. Yeah, here's another one. A lot of you are so young. I don't know if you're young enough to not remember this. Montana used to have no speed limit for like 3 years or 2 years or something. They actually removed the speed limit in Montana. But then a bunch of fucking idiots were taking their Eclipse GSXs out there thinking they can do 160 miles an hour and not die. I really enjoy your lives. Thank you, Levi. I appreciate you as a person. What's your high school GPA, if you remember? Oh, no. I was a Average student on purpose. I actually was never allowed to get better than a C because I flat out refused to do homework. So I was a senior when I was 15. I refused to do homework. I was always of the mind that if they couldn't prove that they were teaching me the subject material in the 45 minutes, because our classes were 45 minutes apiece, if they couldn't prove it to me, then I wasn't going to do homework. They could give me any test they want, and I actually beat the smartest kid in school on the SATs. He missed 2 questions, I missed 1. So, yeah, I could have gotten full rides. I could have been like the guy, but fuck that. No, I was a C student on purpose. Nevada didn't have a speed limit until the 90s. In building of your own, how much would a 12-lane range cost? Is 25 yards deep enough? 25 yards would be. I think a lot of them tend to be like 35 or 33 yards or something like that. Because if you can do 30 or 33 yards, then you can get like the steel challenge shooters that could come in there because their longest ranges, I think, are 33 yards. But still, it's going to be super expensive to do a 12 lane. And again, depending on where you live, we were going to do a 4-lane, and it was going to be over $1 million. If I had my massage gun, I'd give you a nickel. Get your massage gun. Is 7.62 by 25 more superior than 9mm? Which one would you own for self-defense? I would actually own 9mm because 9mm has larger expansion than the 7.62 by 25. 7.62 by 25, for those that don't know, is the Tokarev ammo, the TT-33 and the Papashas. I think originally fired those PPSH 41s. It's a super fast round. It can punch through soft body armor, but on a human target, unless you're using the right rounds, and it would have to be like a frangible style round, the odds of over penetration with 7.62 by 25 are very high. What is your main goal in life? Is there an overreaching agenda? No, not anymore. So I died April 17th, 2017, and since then it's just been be happy. I do this for fun. I've never done this for a living. The store, I wanted to succeed, but I wasn't trying to do it as a living. I was kind of doing it just because a lot of gun shop owners are dicks. So no, lots of lateral thinking. That's true. I'm dying with that. I was literally going to say be so tough and be prepared to do whatever it takes. Make sure you really want it. Yeah. What grain ammo do you recommend carrying? Gun dependent. You know, if your gun can't handle heavier loads, don't carry heavier loads. But I carry Hornady Critical Duty or Hornady Critical Defense 147 grain. A heavier round, especially a hollow point, you know, it's going a little bit slower, but it has a better chance of doing more damage. Yeah, so like a 95 grain, I think I've seen like 50 grain 9mm. That shit's weird. I just put a down payment on the SIG 365 Fuse. What are your thoughts? It's interesting. I had one of the first ones in Virginia. I traded it for a Prodigy, but it seemed cool. I do personally know the owners of a good HVAC company. I wonder if I can get a discount deal on the HVAC aspect of the range. And the other thing you have to keep in mind is like your baffles, your wall structures, your bullet capture system, your lead removal system. There's all kinds of stuff. It's not just the HVAC, but that is a big part of it. Have I seen the new Turkish MKA AR rifles? No, I have not. I have to check that out, Mr. Khan. Or Dr. Khan. Would you mind if I ask how? Ask how what? Must be Texas. Ain't seen that many guns since my unc's basement. Nope, Virginia. What do I think about fluted bullets? Fluted bullets isn't what like the Hornady or not the like the Underwood Extreme Penetrators, the ones that are like twisted or the solid brass ones. Those are designed for penetration versus stopping inside of a person. So, I mean, they're amazing, but they're very, they're going to go through a lot of material. You're going to email me? All right. Would it be nice to have a store owner that knows some stuff about guns? Do I have a car 98K? Not anymore. I sold mine a long time ago. Oh, how I died? I slit some arteries in my body and tried to bleed out. The extreme penetrators are good as well. They are really good, but they do what the name is because they're a solid brass projectile. For educational purposes, what's my opinion on hollow points? Hollow points are what I carry for self-defense. I think it helps mitigate the odds of overpenetration. There are some states that don't allow you to carry with hollow points, like New Jersey, but hollow points give you the best chance of controlling the situation that you find yourself in. If you're involved in a shooting, you're already in a situation that's out of control. You're trying to gain control. So the last thing you want to do is be shooting a round that's too overpowered or not able to stop inside of a bipedal target and goes on to hit somebody that's not even involved in the particular situation. So hollow points help bring down the percentage of overpenetration. Have I ever had a squib? Yep. I don't know why people prefer stopping power over penetration. I think it's important too. Penetration is important to a certain degree. Again, I'm not talking about hitting a round and flowering out on the skin. I'm talking about a round, like a hollow point should start opening the instant it hits the body, but the mushroom should not be impeding with the flight of the bullet. So when you look at like Hornady Critical Duty or an HST round, they're going to go like 8 to 11 inches, which is going to stop inside of most people. In ballistics gel. So in a person, it's more than likely going to stop because you're going to hit an organ, you're going to hit a bone, you're going to hit something else besides one type of medium. Versus a solid round, which has a chance of shooting straight through a person. It's time for me to go night, fun live. Keep up the great work. Happy to us all except for ATF and IRS employees. Diggity, thanks for coming and hanging out, dude. When did I get into guns? 2017, almost 2018. Bryce, thank you, sir. Looking at buying my second Glock, stuck between a Glock 21 or 19X. What do y'all think? You're in the wrong place if you want people to tell you to buy a Glock, son. Is that a Marlin 39? No, sir. That is an Ithaca Model 49 single shot. 9mm versus 5.7 goes back to the whole overpenetration capabilities thing like that. Here in the United States, we don't wear armor as much as people think we do, and even still 5.7 can punch level 2A. Soft body armor, it's not punching through plate armor. So 9mm preferable. Does a 45 ACP recoil negate the possible foot-pounds it provides? No. 45 ACP will rip through a lot of stuff. The reason why it stops in a lot of things is because it's subsonic. But 230 ball will do it. The recoil is, if it recoiled so much that it could mitigate what the bullet could do, the recoil itself would affect the flight trajectory a lot more because the round would not be going fast at all. Yes, clothing does make a big difference, but that's why I like a heavier bullet, and I like one that's known to expand very well. Single shot lever action, I can see the tube on it there. It is a single shot, look it up. The tube is nothing on that. It's literally just because there were other versions of that gun manufactured. Look up Ithaca Model 49. It's a falling block, breech-loaded single shot gun. It's literally in my possession. Why would I say that if I was wrong? Tube doesn't mean anything. People who like Glock eat corn the long way. Lol. Is more than one firearm allowed for EDC? Absolutely. 9mm or 380 for a starter. Whatever you can possibly carry, my friend. Caliber isn't as important as gun control and targeting. You don't have to like Glock to own one. No, you have to actually hate Glock to own one. I shoot all of mine in spite. Do I have a sawed-off? No, sir. I'm taking issues with the science. We signed some of this. Right, yeah, I'll have to pull up some stats and post or something. Okie dokie, sway. Interesting. So it's modeled after a lever action just for show. 90% of the time, a tube means it holds more ammo. Yeah, so the tube, again, I don't know why they put the tube on it the way they did, but it's basically a falling block lever action. The lever action does nothing other than drop the rear part of the breech block. That's all it does on that gun. Have I practiced point shooting? Yes, I have. It's not as easy as some people think, but once you start getting the hang of it, it actually really helps with your shooting. What's your everyday carry? 1911. Send me one, I'll put it to good use. No, thank you. Live with the third leg. What's the little shit of a pistol right below the beginning of the barrel of the rifle up top? If you're talking about the Derringer, that's a ROM. If you're talking about the little pistol, the semi-auto, that is a Frazier 25 ACP. Looking for a first all-around gun. I want a 1911. Is that a decent choice? Was just talking to my coworker about it. Go to a place if you can rent one and shoot them to see what you feel about it. My first gun was a 1911, but again, I'm slightly over 5 feet tall, so I'm a bigger dude, and I like them. The selling gun license over the internet, are they any good? What do you mean? What do you mean they're selling gun licenses? I bought a shadow system so I could have something that takes Glock mags and parts that still isn't a Glock. Close enough. How many guns do you have now? I don't know. I never actually count them. Also, a lot of them have been sold, traded, or sent off. So, no clue. The accent, Joe, what was that one? Swedish? I don't know. I don't even realize I was doing one, Sway. I'm sorry. Thanks. Now I have to go back and watch it. Does a 22 suppressor work on 17 HMR? Only if it's rated for the pressure. Suppressors, while some people will say that they're caliber specific, they're more pressure specific. Because I've got a 9mm can, which means anything .379 or something or whatever can run through it, but I can't fire 5.56 through it because it's too much pressure. Rural King in Kentucky has some used Smith & Wesson for $550. That is a good price. Get a Nighthawk. They're amazing. Lol. They're only $4,000. Yeah, $550 is an insane price, JPEG. You love it? That's good. What's your opinion on 6.5 Swede? Is it better round than 6.5 Creedmoor? Different purposes, man. 6.5 Creedmoor is for distance. 6.5 Swede is not. How good is your aim? It's decent. You can ask Stone when we went down there. Every gun I was shooting, I think I had 1 or 2 flyers out of like 200 rounds, so I'm pretty good. Hobbies besides guns, electronics, computers. I build custom computers. I like comic books. I like books. I like video games. Hell used. Hell used. Probably not too much. Smith & Wesson 500s don't typically get a ton. For rifles and guns, they had a really bad time also compared to the Walmart Glock story. Jesus, I want to make the ultimate small game gun with my Ruger in 17. Nice. Nelson, weapons are not evil, people are evil. And if you believe that weapons are evil, you already have the wrong mindset to be talking about them. Seeing they sell CCW. Oh, yeah, well, like here in the state of Virginia, you cannot do an online class and get your CCW. Here in the state of Virginia, you have to take an in-person class. Online certificates do not count towards CCWs in the state of Virginia. Could you do 1 minute on Kill Tony? That's that one with all the dudes, right? I'm probably quick enough to be on there. I'm just not vile enough. Have I been watching the Invincible show? Yeah, I think I'm like 2 episodes behind. I haven't seen them all. I heard they're really good, though. They are all over YouTube as well. It's goofy. Have I read Hunting the Jackal? I have not. What's the difference between Hydroshock and Hollow Point? Hydroshock is just a different type of Hollow Point. Hydroshock is a it's Federal Hydroshock. They also have Federal HST, Federal Punch. So it's the design of the tip that determines the name. Have you wished to be in the military? My entire youth, I planned on going in the military. My dad was career military, and up until the time I was 17, I was intending to go in the military, but I had flat feet, bad back, and cluster headaches. So by the time my 18th birthday came around, that was in 1997. And the U.S. military was not looking for enlistees with health problems in 1997. They were still in the middle of huge drawdowns out of Iraq, Gulf Storm, all that shit. They were still bringing people back from that one, and they didn't need anybody. Have I ever tried my hand at knife or axe throwing for fun? Just like casually. I've never gone to like a real place to do it. Although one day I was cleaning my apartment and I stubbed my stump and I got really pissed, so I just threw a knife as hard as I can and it stuck in the wall, so that counts. Have you ever tried it? It's unfortunate. I'd snatch one up for 550. Yeah, I would too. As long as it maintains an overall length of 26.5, you're good. I hate the Temu ads that are advertising Taurus pistols. Are they really? Did I do ballistics? No. What do I think of the Force Glock? Which Force Glock are you talking about, my friend? Who's my favorite character in Invincible? Well, unfortunately, I know what happens, but Rex is one of my favorites. Even though he's played as a douche nozzle, he's actually a hero. All right, Diggity, you have a good one. Do you have any pets? No. I have mods. They're kind of like cats. They ignore me unless they want something. Does that count? Damn. My dad just got one of those single shot lever actions. He used to have one as a kid and had to get it. I think they just slapped a steel rod and placed in the mag tube to match the aesthetics. Very possibly, Alexander. Have I ever seen a jet for the first time? What do you mean, sir? Lamau. There's supposed to be a dog named McManus around there somewhere. I haven't found a chocolate lab yet, and it's McManus Stone Zaxxon. Okay, I'm heading out. Keep feeling good and stick to the diet. I'm hoping to, brother. Appreciate the thumbs up. Thank you. Live Sway. Thank you. What do you mean, Sway? Those names aren't cohesive. Oh, McManus Saxon Stone. Oh, you probably weren't here for that, Sway. So they paid me $500 to name a dog. Was it $500 or was it $250? I can't remember what I sold the name for. Read about it. They made it to look like a Winchester for 1/4 of the price. That makes sense. Always but on and off. Gotcha. So yeah, no. Zaxxon started it, and I can't remember. I think it was like $500. I said if they paid for it, they can name it. And here's the best part. McManus wasn't even here during that time. I think it was one of the lives he wasn't around, or he didn't come on until later, and they had already paid for it. And then McManus comes on and like, so we named a dog after you. What deficiency do you have? I don't have any toes. I was going to get really gross, and I decided not to, so. You had proxies. Gotcha. What are we talking about? How steady are you when you shoot? Oh, you weren't there at all. Gotcha. So how steady am I when I shoot? When I first get to the range, I'm pretty steady. But I'm not kidding. I'm a double amputee, so by the time I'm done shooting, I am not steady on my feet, so. Look at the camera with both eyes. Why you gotta be calling me out, motherfucker? When was your last fist fight? Oh, geez. My 20s, I think. Yeah, I was in my 20s. I think it was at a movie theater. Some dude was being a dick. I think that's when it was. Oh, no. This was in 2010. So that would have made me old as fuck. 30? I was almost 30. One of my employees spit in my face, so I decked him. How did you end up an amputee? They cut off some toes due to infections. Nice collection of firearms. Thank you. Do I have a Remington 870? I'm not a huge 870 fan. I don't know what it is. I prefer semi-auto shotguns. Like my personal shotguns are semi-auto. I've got a 930 and a 940 now. So Any laser light combos useful for home defense setups or just... So the light, yes. Laser, I mean, if you're inside your home and you can't hit somebody at inside 10 yards, you got much bigger problems than a laser or a light's going to overcome. And there are differing opinions when it comes to mounted lights. Some people say it's fine, but I prefer not to, honestly, unless it's on a shotgun. If it's on a shotgun, I'm already doing some heavy duty work. But like on my pistol and stuff, I'd rather handhold it because you can try to confuse somebody. Like it's a tactic. You could literally hold the light up high while going around a corner, and somebody might be aiming for your light. So it depends. I've never been in a fist fight outside a family member. Dude, I'm on my way, Stone. Favorite revolver, Ruger GP100. Never played with either of those, Burger. Without giving a price, what's the most expensive firearm you own? The most expensive firearm that I currently own, so I'm not talking about price I paid because that's not a good thing to even get into because I never pay full price. I've got a few rifles that are probably worth a few grand. The STI Grandmaster, the 2011 that I have, is worth about $4,000. I don't have a ton of super expensive guns anymore. I've sold a lot of them to Stone, but there are some guns, you know, I don't have many guns that are worth more than a few grand. Like my custom AR is to duplicate it is $3,500, but I would never spend that on one. Boom, 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 boom. What days do I normally live stream? Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern. Since I can't use a gun because of handshakes, I have a baseball bat that's wrapped with barbed wire. Ah, you have a Lucille. Make a short of you and Stone duking it out. It would be funny because I'm just going to do this. I'm going to come at him like this. Also remember, shit splatters when you hit it. And TSO is still my favorite pistol. My favorite pistol is still probably... I regret selling Stone the TSO. I really do. I shouldn't have done it. But he made it his own, so there's never a chance I'll get that one back. Probably the DWX was my favorite pistol, but it was an optics cut. You into blades? I respect knives, but I'm not a blade guy. In fact, I've been stabbed by my own knife or by my own actions too many times. I trust myself with a gun. I don't trust myself with a knife. Do you think Kimber pistols are worth the price? At the new lower prices? Yes. Is which one a Gowar? I don't know which one you're talking about. The 226 is a nice piece as well. The 226 is a very nice gun. I sold it so I can get the X5, and I never bought the X5 because I'm a dumbass, and I bought a car. What was my ND about? So I had a Tokarev pistol, 7.62x25 Tokarev. It was an actual Tokarev TT33 pre-safety, so it was a pre-64, had no safeties on it, and I had re-blued the gun, and I loaded the gun, put it in my safe. The next day I took it out of my safe, dropped the mag out, and I was looking at the trigger because the bluing had affected the trigger a little bit, and I tapped the trigger. And the gun fired because I forgot to clear the round out of the chamber. So, yes, I ND'd a Tokarev round into my wall. The one under the revolver. No, the one under the revolver is an Ithaca Model 49. I don't know, McManus. That one wasn't the worst one we've ever had on there. Stromboni's been around for a while, dude. I don't think that one was worth getting rid of him for, McManus. If he does it, you know, Stromboni, lay down a little bit, cool down on some of the jokes for me for a while, bud. Live Sway says, interesting, thank you. You're welcome. So what time is it? It is just about that time, kids. Do me a big favor. I had some guy hop out of a car, get in my face, took a lot of restraint to not lose my shit, but it made me feel better about carrying like I feel I won't go nuts overreacting to things. Yes, exactly. The only time where lethal use of force is authorized is when you are in imminent danger of death or grievous bodily harm. So if somebody's just in your face and it's going to be a fight, that's not the time you pull your gun. I'm thankful that you had the wherewithal to not pull your gun. Thank you for being a responsible gun owner. No, McManus is always here for it, dude. McManus is a great mod. So McManus is really good at catching people being idiots. I didn't even see anything from that dude this whole time. No, Strong Boney's been cool. Like I said, that was probably the worst joke he's told. So, but yeah, just be cool with it. We try not to get too far into that category with the jokes, my guy. Is the G3C any good? Yes, 100%. I meant to just remove his comment, but accidentally banned him. Gotcha. Couldn't be bothered to fix it. You fuck. Why you have guns in the background? Because I'm trying to dissuade you from breaking into my home. So for all of you that don't know, I have a gun store. It's called Wind City Armory. Go to windcityarmory.com. That's right, I managed to get one that I didn't have to go windcityarmory.com. It's just windcityarmory.com. It's only used guns on there right now, but you can send me an email, windcityarmory@gmail.com, and tell me what you're looking for. I can ship to any FFL in the country. I'm here for you. I'll beat almost any price, unless it's fucking Bud's Gun Shop, because fuck them, they got millions of dollars to screw over the little guy. But yeah, hey Air Max, you have a good night. But yeah, so just go there, check the stuff out, let me know what you're looking for. I can tell you if I've got it or if I can get it as well. I would go with the G3C. It's a newer design, better grips, and you get 3 mags instead of 2. I'm looking for that 357. I'll send you some detailed pics, McManus. It's for sale. You want the 357 SIG 229? I got the 229 double action Kellerman. Find me an H001 T-Spur. I bet you I can. Yeah, like I said, send me emails. I don't discuss what I have for sale on a YouTube live. But yeah, hit the like on your way out. Show me some love. Show the channel some love. Show everybody that we're capable of being people. When you spam shit, it makes me not want to deal with you. So, my guy, don't spam shit. Fake ass guns. Yep, every single one of them has a fake booty on it. Tempting, but I've shit talked SIG way too much to get into more of them. Yeah, but it's a 229. It's a steel frame, dude. It's fine. And it's double action only, so it's not like it can get you in any trouble because you can't cock it and lock it. Any updates on the website? It's up. I just named it like many times. windcityarmory.com. windcityarmory.com. Hey, Molt. Have a great night, everyone. I'll catch you next time. Is that a pink Glock? It's actually the Rose Gold 43X. All right, guys. I'm going to pick you up, turn you around, turn you off. Let's be honest, I'm just going to make you all horny and hot and turn you on, but yeah, there we go. So look at my dirty ass fucking shelves. Look at that. Medical supplies and a graphics card. That's the way we do it. But I'm going to go away. You go away. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you guys later. And bye.